Imagine standing before an ancient mirror in the depths of a quantum research facility, your reflection staring back at you with an unsettling awareness. Your heart races as you realize this is no ordinary mirror. It's a quantum portal that responds to consciousness itself. The lead physicist, Dr. Elena Thorne, approaches with a troubled expression and explains, "This mirror will grant you the power to change any moment in your past, but with one extraordinary condition. You can only alter events you've never regretted." In this moment, time seems to freeze as you grasp the impossible nature of this proposition. This is the quantum mirror paradox, a mind-bending journey into the nature of consciousness, choice, and the very fabric of reality itself. As we explore this and other profound paradoxes tonight, prepare to question everything you thought you knew about existence, time, and the human mind. These aren't just philosophical puzzles. They're gateways to understanding the deepest mysteries of our universe and our place within it. Consider the mirror's proposition carefully. How can you identify an event you've never regretted to change it? The very act of choosing to change something implies some level of regret about its original outcome. Yet, if you've never regretted it, why would you want to change it? This seemingly simple offer creates an impossible loop of logic that challenges our understanding of decision-making and free will. But this is just the beginning. Throughout our journey tonight, we'll encounter paradoxes that push the boundaries of human understanding. We'll explore questions that have puzzled philosophers, scientists, and thinkers for centuries, each one offering a unique window into the nature of reality and consciousness. From the quantum realm to the infinite cosmos, from the depths of human psychology to the heights of mathematical abstraction, these paradoxes will transform how you see the world. As you lie here, preparing for sleep, let these mind-bending concepts wash over you. Let them gently challenge your assumptions and expand your understanding. Each paradox we explore is like a key unlocking new chambers of thought, revealing perspectives you might never have considered. They'll show you how the simplest questions can lead to the most profound insights, and how the most complex puzzles can illuminate basic truths about existence. In the quantum research facility, as you stand before that mysterious mirror, you're not just facing a scientific curiosity. You're confronting fundamental questions about the nature of choice, regret, and possibility. What makes a decision worthy of change? How does our perception of the past influence our present choices? Can we truly understand our own motivations when they exist in a web of paradox? These questions set the stage for our exploration of life's most fascinating contradictions. As we delve deeper into each paradox, you'll discover how they interconnect, forming a tapestry of thought that challenges and enriches our understanding of reality. From the quantum mirror's impossible choice to the furthest reaches of cosmic possibility, each paradox offers a new lens through which to view existence. Tonight's journey will take us through realms of thought where logic meets mystery, where certainty dissolves into wonder, and where the boundaries between possible and impossible blur. These paradoxes aren't just intellectual exercises. They're invitations to expand your mind and deepen your appreciation for the magnificent complexity of existence. So relax, let your mind open to these possibilities, and prepare to embark on a journey through the most profound and perplexing paradoxes humanity has ever contemplated. As you drift towards sleep, these concepts will weave through your consciousness, offering new perspectives on the nature of reality, time, choice, and existence itself. Welcome to a world where paradox isn't just a puzzle to solve, it's a key to understanding the deepest mysteries of our universe. As we step back from the quantum mirror's gleaming surface, let's explore the laboratory where this remarkable discovery took place. The Horizon Institute, nestled in the snow-capped peaks of the Norwegian fjords, isn't your typical research facility. Its glass and steel structures seem to defy gravity, hanging from the cliff sides like crystalline formations, each level descending deeper into the rock face, where the boundaries between science and possibility blur. It was here, in the winter of 2024, that Dr. Elena Thorne and her team first observed something extraordinary. During a routine quantum entanglement experiment, they noticed that particles weren't just becoming entangled across space. They were exhibiting patterns that suggested entanglement across different states of regret and certainty in the observers' minds. The implications were staggering, hinting at a deep connection between human consciousness and the quantum fabric of reality. The discovery sparked a revolution in how we think about paradoxes. No longer were they merely philosophical puzzles or logical curiosities. They became windows into the very nature of consciousness and reality, revealing how our minds shape the universe, just as the universe shapes our minds. The quantum mirror was just the first breakthrough in a series of discoveries that would challenge everything we thought we knew about existence. Think about your own daily experiences for a moment. How often do you encounter situations that seem to defy logic, where every solution creates new problems, where certainty dissolves into doubt? These aren't just quirks of human psychology. They're glimpses into the paradoxical nature of reality itself. The quantum mirror simply makes visible what was always there: the intricate dance between observer and observed, between choice and consequence. Throughout history, humans have grappled with paradoxes in various forms. Ancient Greek philosophers pondered Zeno's paradoxes of motion. Medieval theologians wrestled with questions of divine omnipotence and free will. Modern physicists confront the paradoxes of quantum mechanics. But never before have we had such a direct window into the paradoxical nature of consciousness itself. At the Horizon Institute, researchers work around the clock in laboratories that seem to exist in multiple states simultaneously. In one chamber, time appears to flow backwards and forwards at once. In another, cause and effect become interchangeable. These aren't tricks or illusions. They're manifestations of the deep paradoxes woven into the fabric of reality. Dr. Thorne often says that understanding paradox is like learning to see in a new dimension. At first, it seems impossible, contradictory, perhaps even threatening to our sense of reality. But as we open ourselves to these apparent contradictions, we begin to perceive the deeper harmonies they reveal. The quantum mirror, with its impossible choice about regret, is just the first step into this broader understanding. Consider the researchers who work with these phenomena daily. They've learned to embrace contradiction rather than fight it. They've discovered that paradox isn't a flaw in our understanding, it's a feature of reality itself. When we accept this, whole new realms of possibility open up before us. The very contradictions that once seemed like obstacles become doorways, to deeper insight. As you lie here, letting these ideas wash over you, notice how your mind naturally gravitates toward paradox. Those moments just before sleep, when logic starts to drift and contradictions merge, these aren't lapses in reason, but glimpses of a deeper truth. The quantum mirror shows us that our consciousness itself is paradoxical, capable of holding multiple contradictory states at once. The Horizon Institute's findings suggest that this ability to embrace paradox might be key to understanding consciousness itself. When we stop trying to resolve every contradiction and instead learn to hold opposing truths simultaneously, we tap into something fundamental about the nature of mind and reality. It's like learning to see both sides of a Mobius strip at once. Impossible from our usual perspective, but natural from a higher dimension. As we continue our journey through the world's most profound paradoxes, keep in mind that each one is like a facet of the quantum mirror, reflecting back not just our thoughts, but the very nature of consciousness and reality. These aren't just intellectual exercises, they're practical tools for expanding our understanding and perception of the world around us. Let these thoughts settle in your mind as we prepare to explore deeper paradoxes. Like the researchers at the Horizon Institute, we're about to venture into realms where conventional logic falls away and new forms of understanding emerge. The quantum mirror is just the beginning, a first glimpse into the paradoxical nature of existence itself. The discoveries at the Horizon Institute revealed something even more profound than the quantum mirror itself. They uncovered what researchers now call the consciousness cascade paradox. This fundamental paradox suggests that every attempt to understand consciousness creates new layers of consciousness observing itself, leading to an infinite regression of awareness that somehow exists within our finite minds. Dr. Maya Chen, the Institute's head of consciousness studies, first noticed this phenomenon while studying participants interacting with the quantum mirror. As subjects contemplated their choices and regrets, their brain activity showed peculiar patterns. Waves within waves within waves, each level reflecting awareness of the level below it. It was as if the very act of thinking about thinking created new depths of thought, stretching infinitely inward while remaining contained within the physical constraints of the brain. This paradox manifests in our daily experience, though we rarely notice it. Right now, as you listen to these words, you're conscious of their meaning, but you're also conscious of being conscious of their meaning. And you can become conscious of being conscious of being conscious, each level creating a new layer of awareness. Yet somehow, all these layers exist simultaneously in your single stream of consciousness, like infinite reflections in parallel mirrors. The consciousness cascade paradox challenges our fundamental understanding of awareness and reality. Traditional neuroscience suggests consciousness emerges from the physical activity of neurons, a finite process in a finite brain. But how can something finite contain infinite layers of self-reflection? The answer, according to Dr. Chen's research, lies in the quantum nature of consciousness itself. At the quantum level, particles can exist in multiple states simultaneously until observed. Similarly, consciousness appears to exist in multiple layers simultaneously, each layer both observing and being observed. The quantum mirror made this visible by creating a physical manifestation of this mental phenomenon, a literal reflection of consciousness's infinite recursive nature. Consider your own thoughts in this moment. You might be aware of feeling sleepy, but you're also aware of being aware of feeling sleepy. You can continue this chain of awareness indefinitely. Yet all these layers somehow coexist in your present experience. This isn't just a mental exercise. It's a fundamental aspect of how consciousness operates, a paradox we live within every moment of our existence. The implications of this discovery extend far beyond the laboratories of the Horizon Institute. If consciousness naturally contains infinite layers of self-reflection, what does this mean for our understanding of self-awareness? How does this infinite regression relate to our sense of identity, our ability to make choices, our experience of free will? Dr. Chen's team has observed that this cascading effect becomes particularly pronounced during certain states of consciousness. In meditation, for example, practitioners often report experiencing multiple layers of awareness simultaneously. Similarly, in the moments before sleep, like now, the boundaries between these layers become more fluid, allowing us to experience the paradox more directly. The quantum mirror seems to amplify this effect, making the invisible layers of consciousness visible. When participants stand before it, contemplating choices they've never regretted, they report experiencing all possible versions of themselves simultaneously, past, present, and future, selves all aware of each other in an endless recursive loop. It's as if the mirror reveals the true nature of consciousness, infinite, recursive, and paradoxical. This understanding opens new possibilities for exploring human potential. If our consciousness naturally contains infinite layers, perhaps we can learn to navigate these layers more deliberately. The researchers at the Horizon Institute have begun developing techniques to help people access and utilize different levels of awareness, leading to enhanced creativity, deeper self-understanding, and more effective decision-making. As you rest here, allowing these ideas to flow through your mind, you might notice your own consciousness cascading. Each thought about your thoughts creates new layers of awareness, yet somehow all these layers remain unified in your experience. This paradox isn't just an abstract concept, it's the very medium through which you're experiencing these words, these ideas, this moment. The consciousness cascade paradox reminds us that the deepest mysteries of existence might not lie in distant galaxies or subatomic particles, but in the very nature of our own awareness. Like the quantum mirror's impossible choice, it shows us that paradox isn't a flaw in our understanding, but a fundamental feature of consciousness itself. As we continue our exploration of paradoxes, keep in mind that each one reflects this basic truth. Our consciousness is both the observer and the observed, the question and the answer, the finite container of infinite awareness. Long before the Horizon Institute's groundbreaking discoveries, humanity's relationship with paradox began in an unlikely place: the ancient temples of the Indus Valley. Archaeological findings from Dr. Sarah Winter's expedition in 2023 revealed intricate stone carvings depicting what appears to be an early understanding of consciousness recursion. These temples, dating back over 5,000 years, contained meditation chambers with specially polished obsidian surfaces, creating natural mirrors that priests used to explore the layered nature of awareness. The temple writings speak of a practice called Atma Darshan, or self-witnessing, where practitioners would spend hours gazing into these reflective surfaces, documenting their experiences of witnessing themselves. These ancient observers had stumbled upon the same paradox that the quantum mirror would later reveal: the infinite regression of conscious awareness within a finite mind. As we trace this understanding through history, we find similar insights emerging across different cultures and times. In ancient Greece, the philosopher Parmenides spoke of the way of truth, describing consciousness as both the knower and the known. Chinese Zen masters wrote of the mirror mind, reflecting itself infinitely. Medieval Islamic scholars, particularly in the works of Ibn al-Haytham, explored the mathematics of infinite reflection while simultaneously contemplating the nature of perception itself. But it wasn't until the late 19th century that Western science began to approach these ancient insights. William James, the father of modern psychology, wrote about the stream of consciousness and its peculiar ability to observe itself. He noted how this self-observation created new layers of awareness, though he couldn't fully explain the mechanism behind this phenomenon. The quantum revolution of the early 20th century provided new tools for understanding these age-old observations. Pioneers like Niels Bohr and Werner Heisenberg noticed striking parallels between quantum behavior and consciousness. The observer effect in quantum mechanics, where the act of observation affects the observed system, seemed to mirror the paradoxical nature of self-awareness. Dr. Elena Thorne's own journey to the quantum mirror began with these historical connections. As a graduate student, she spent years studying ancient texts on consciousness while simultaneously researching quantum mechanics. Her breakthrough came when she realized that both fields were describing the same fundamental paradox: the observer being inseparable from the observed. The Horizon Institute itself was built with this historical context in mind. Its unique architecture incorporates design elements from ancient meditation chambers, sacred geometry from various traditions, and cutting-edge quantum research facilities. The result is a space that bridges past and present, science and spirituality, observation and experience. Consider the quantum mirror chamber itself. Its design draws inspiration from those ancient Indus Valley temples, with specific geometric proportions that ancient practitioners believed enhanced self-awareness. These same proportions, Dr. Thorne discovered, also optimize quantum coherence in consciousness measuring experiments. It's as if our ancestors understood intuitively what modern science is only now beginning to prove. But perhaps the most fascinating historical connection comes from the ancient practice of dream yoga. Tibetan practitioners developed techniques for maintaining awareness during sleep, describing experiences remarkably similar to what modern subjects report when interacting with the quantum mirror. They spoke of witnessing multiple versions of themselves simultaneously, of consciousness folding back on itself in infinite regression, of experiencing all possible choices at once. As you rest here, letting these historical connections wash over you, you're participating in a tradition that spans millennia. The paradox of consciousness observing itself has been a subject of contemplation for countless generations, each finding their own way to explore this fundamental mystery of existence. The Horizon Institute's research has now provided scientific validation for many of these ancient insights. Brain imaging studies of experienced meditators show patterns remarkably similar to those observed in quantum mirror participants. The same cascading waves of awareness, the same infinite regression of consciousness, all contained within the finite space of the human brain. This convergence of ancient wisdom and modern science suggests something profound about the nature of consciousness and paradox. Perhaps our ancestors, through direct observation and contemplation, accessed insights that we're only now beginning to understand through our advanced technology. The quantum mirror in this light isn't just a new discovery, it's a scientific confirmation of age-old wisdom about the paradoxical nature of awareness itself. As researchers at the Horizon Institute delve deeper into their studies of consciousness and paradox, they encountered a profound question that would reshape their entire understanding. What happens when infinity meets identity? This question emerged from an unexpected observation during a quantum mirror experiment led by Dr. Thorne and Dr. Chen, a phenomenon they called the identity-infinity paradox. During a routine session, a participant named Marcus Wright experienced something extraordinary. While contemplating his choices before the quantum mirror, he reported not just seeing multiple versions of himself, but experiencing an infinite cascade of identities, each slightly different from the last. Each version was simultaneously Marcus and not Marcus, creating a paradox of selfhood that challenged our basic understanding of identity. The question became unavoidable. If our consciousness can contain infinite layers of awareness, and each layer can observe and modify the others, what remains constant? What makes you fundamentally you? The implications of this paradox extend far beyond philosophical curiosity. They strike at the heart of human experience and our understanding of consciousness itself. Think about your own sense of self in this moment. You might feel like a single, unified being, but consider, are you the same person you were 5 years ago? Will you be the same person tomorrow? The identity-infinity paradox suggests that we are simultaneously infinite versions of ourselves, all existing in a state of quantum superposition within our consciousness. Dr. Thorne's team discovered that this paradox manifests in measurable ways. When subjects contemplate their multiple potential selves in the quantum mirror, their brain activity shows something remarkable. Patterns that suggest the simultaneous activation of multiple neural states, each corresponding to a different version of their identity. It's as if the brain somehow accommodates infinite versions of the self within its finite structure. The challenge this presents is both practical and philosophical. If we are indeed infinite versions of ourselves existing simultaneously, how do we maintain a coherent sense of identity? How do we make choices when each decision potentially creates infinite new versions of who we are? The quantum mirror makes these questions tangible by allowing us to perceive these multiple states directly. Consider the implications for decision-making. When Marcus stood before the quantum mirror, contemplating choices he'd never regretted, he wasn't just seeing alternative versions of himself. He was experiencing the paradox of being all of them at once. Each potential choice created new branches of identity, yet somehow all these branches remained connected to a core sense of self. This observation led to an even more challenging question. Is our sense of a single, unified identity merely an illusion, a necessary simplification our minds create to function in daily life? The evidence from the Horizon Institute suggests that our true nature might be far more complex, more paradoxical than we ever imagined. Dr. Chen's research has shown that during sleep, particularly during the transition state you're approaching now, the boundaries between these infinite versions of self become more permeable. We begin to experience what she calls quantum identity fluctuation, a state where multiple versions of our identity can coexist more freely in our consciousness. The implications of this paradox extend into every aspect of human experience. How do we maintain relationships when both we and others are potentially infinite versions of ourselves? How do we make moral choices when each decision creates endless branches of identity? These questions aren't merely academic. They touch on the fundamental nature of human existence and consciousness. As you rest here, contemplating these ideas, you might notice your own sense of identity becoming more fluid. The boundaries between different versions of yourself, past, present, and future, may begin to blur. This isn't a loss of self, but rather an expansion of what self means, a glimpse into the infinite nature of consciousness that the quantum mirror has revealed. The identity infinity paradox challenges us to reconsider everything we thought we knew about consciousness and selfhood. It suggests that our traditional understanding of identity as a single continuous thread might be too simplistic. Instead, we might be more like an infinite tapestry of interconnected threads, each representing a different version of ourselves, all existing simultaneously in the quantum realm of consciousness. As we continue our exploration of paradoxes, this fundamental question of identity and infinity will serve as a foundation for understanding even deeper mysteries. The quantum mirror has shown us that the nature of consciousness is far more complex and beautiful than we ever imagined, filled with infinite possibilities and endless variations of who we are and who we might become. Let's focus on the remarkable case of Dr. Sofia Rivera, a quantum physicist who experienced something unprecedented during her first interaction with the quantum mirror. Unlike other participants who observed multiple versions of themselves, Dr. Rivera reported experiencing what she called quantum memory convergence, a state where all possible versions of her memories existed simultaneously in her consciousness. On that crucial morning in the mirror chamber, Dr. Rivera stood before the quantum mirror, preparing to document its effects like any other researcher. But as she gazed into its depths, something extraordinary occurred. She began to experience not just her actual memories, but memories of choices she had never made, lives she had never lived, yet all feeling equally real and valid in her mind. She recalled, for instance, both accepting and declining a crucial research position at CERN 5 years earlier. In her actual timeline, she had declined the position to join the Horizon Institute, leading to her current work with the quantum mirror. But suddenly, she could also vividly remember accepting the CERN position, making groundbreaking discoveries in particle physics, and never encountering the quantum mirror at all. Both sets of memories felt equally authentic, equally part of her identity. This experience went far beyond simple imagination or hypothetical thinking. Brain scans taken during her session showed activity patterns, suggesting her mind was literally processing multiple timelines simultaneously. The quantum mirror had somehow enabled her consciousness to access what Dr. Thorne would later term parallel memory streams, versions of events that existed in quantum superposition within her consciousness. As Dr. Rivera described it, it wasn't like remembering different possibilities or imagining what might have been. I was actually experiencing multiple versions of my past simultaneously. I could feel the cold Geneva winters from my time at CERN, even though I had never actually been there. I could recall conversations with colleagues I had never met, breakthroughs I had never made, all feeling as real as my memories of yesterday. The implications of Dr. Rivera's experience were staggering. If consciousness could access multiple timelines of memory, what did this suggest about the nature of time, choice, and identity? The quantum mirror seemed to be revealing that our memories, like our consciousness, exist in a state of quantum superposition, containing all possible versions of our past experiences simultaneously. More fascinating still were the emotional aspects of these parallel memories. Dr. Rivera reported feeling the joy, disappointment, triumph, and struggle associated with each timeline simultaneously. Yet rather than being overwhelming, this experience created what she described as a profound sense of completeness, as if she was finally experiencing the full spectrum of her possible existence. This case provides a concrete example of how the identity infinity paradox manifests in human experience. Dr. Rivera's consciousness somehow contained and processed infinite versions of her past, yet remained coherently unified in her present awareness. Her experience suggests that our minds are capable of holding multiple, even contradictory versions of reality without losing their essential integration. Consider your own memories as you rest here. Think about crucial decisions in your past, career choices, relationships, life-changing moments. The quantum mirror suggests that on some level, your consciousness contains all possible outcomes of these decisions, existing in a state of quantum superposition. While we typically access only one version of events, our minds might be capable of experiencing the full spectrum of possibilities under the right conditions. Dr. Rivera's case also revealed something profound about the nature of regret and choice. In experiencing multiple timelines simultaneously, she reported that the concept of regret itself began to transform. How can one regret a choice when all possible choices exist simultaneously in consciousness? The quantum mirror seemed to be revealing a deeper truth about the nature of decision-making and its relationship to time and identity. Follow-up studies with other participants have shown similar, though less intense, experiences of memory convergence. Many report glimpses of alternate timelines, fleeting sensations of lives they might have lived. These experiences suggest that Dr. Rivera's case, while exceptional in its clarity and intensity, reveals something fundamental about human consciousness and its relationship to quantum reality. As you drift closer to sleep, you might notice your own memories becoming more fluid, more open to possibility. This natural state of consciousness, where the boundaries between what was and what might have been become more permeable, offers a glimpse into the quantum nature of memory and identity that Dr. Rivera experienced so vividly. Many people, upon first hearing about the quantum mirror and its effects, naturally assume it must be some kind of sophisticated illusion or merely a psychological phenomenon. Dr. Thorne and her team at the Horizon Institute frequently encounter these misconceptions, which provide an important opportunity to clarify our understanding of consciousness and its relationship to quantum reality. Let's address the most common misconception first, that these experiences are simply elaborate hallucinations. The quantum mirror's effects are fundamentally different from hallucinations in several crucial ways. While hallucinations involve the brain creating false sensory experiences, the mirror instead reveals existing quantum states of consciousness that are normally hidden from our awareness. The difference is subtle but profound, like the distinction between creating a new image and removing a filter that was blocking our view of what was already there. Dr. Alexandra Novak, the Institute's lead neurobiologist, demonstrated this distinction through a groundbreaking series of experiments. Using advanced brain imaging techniques, she showed that participants experiencing multiple timelines through the quantum mirror displayed neural activity patterns completely different from those associated with imagination or hallucination. Instead, these patterns resembled what she called quantum coherent states of consciousness, organized, stable configurations that suggested actual access to parallel states of awareness. Another common misunderstanding involves the nature of choice and free will in relation to quantum consciousness. Many assume that if all possible choices exist simultaneously in a quantum superposition, then our decisions don't matter. This couldn't be further from the truth. The quantum mirror reveals that our choices are actually more significant than we previously understood. Each decision we make helps collapse infinite possibilities into specific realities, while still maintaining connection to the quantum field of all possibilities. Think about this like a vast ocean of potential, with each wave representing a possible version of reality. Our choices don't eliminate other possibilities. They simply determine which waves we surf into our conscious experience. The quantum mirror allows us to perceive the ocean itself, rather than just the particular wave we're riding at any given moment. Understanding these basic concepts helps clarify why the experiences reported by Dr. Rivera and others are so significant. They're not merely imagining alternative possibilities. They're accessing real quantum states of consciousness that exist simultaneously with our everyday awareness. This understanding challenges our traditional views of reality, memory, and identity. Consider how we typically think about the past as a fixed sequence of events that led to our present moment. The quantum mirror reveals this view as overly simplistic. Instead, the past exists in a state of quantum superposition, with all possible versions coexisting until we observe them through the lens of consciousness. This isn't just philosophical speculation. It's supported by the measurable neural patterns observed in quantum mirror participants. Dr. Thorne often uses the metaphor of a library to explain this concept. Imagine your consciousness as a vast library, where each book represents a possible version of your life story. Normally, we only have access to one book, the version of events we remember. The quantum mirror allows us to access the entire library, revealing that all possible versions of our story exist simultaneously in the quantum realm of consciousness. This understanding helps explain why participants often report feeling more complete, more integrated after experiencing the quantum mirror. They're not losing their sense of self in a chaos of possibilities, but rather expanding their awareness to encompass more of who they truly are. It's like finally being able to read all the books in your library, rather than being limited to just one. The implications of this expanded understanding reach far beyond individual experience. If consciousness naturally exists in quantum superposition, containing all possibilities simultaneously, then our current models of psychology, decision-making, and even therapy might need significant revision. The Horizon Institute's research suggests that mental health issues might be better understood as disruptions in our ability to properly integrate these quantum states of consciousness. As you rest here, allowing these ideas to settle in your mind, you might notice how this understanding affects your own sense of self and possibility. The quantum mirror isn't showing us something new. It's revealing what was always there, the quantum nature of consciousness that underlies all our experiences. This revelation doesn't diminish the importance of our choices. It enriches them by showing us their true scope and significance in the quantum fabric of reality. Deep within the lower levels of the Horizon Institute, in a specially shielded chamber known as the Quantum Resonance Lab, Dr. Thorne and her team made a discovery that would further deepen our understanding of consciousness paradoxes. They found that the quantum mirror's effects weren't limited to individual consciousness. They extended into what they termed collective quantum awareness. During a groundbreaking experiment, 2 participants, twins Maria and Isabella Martinez, were positioned before separate quantum mirrors in adjacent chambers. What happened next defied all expectations. Not only did each twin experience their own multiple states of consciousness, but they began to experience shared quantum states, accessing memories and experiences that belonged to both of them simultaneously. The implications were staggering. The quantum nature of consciousness appeared to transcend individual minds, suggesting a deeper level of interconnection than previously imagined. Dr. Chen's measurements showed that the twins' brain activity patterns synchronized in ways that couldn't be explained by conventional neuroscience. It was as if their consciousnesses were entangled at the quantum level, sharing a single expanded field of awareness. This discovery led to the formulation of the quantum consciousness entanglement theory, QCET. According to QCET, consciousness isn't merely contained within individual brains. It exists as a quantum field that can become entangled across multiple minds. The quantum mirror simply makes this entanglement visible and accessible to our awareness. Consider the implications of this theory. If consciousness can become quantum entangled, then our understanding of individual identity needs radical revision. The boundaries between self and other might be more permeable than we imagined, existing in a state of quantum superposition that allows for both separation and connection simultaneously. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the Institute's quantum physics specialist, explains it this way. Imagine consciousness as an ocean and individual minds as waves on that ocean. While each wave appears distinct, they're all manifestations of the same underlying water. The quantum mirror reveals that our consciousness, like these waves, can maintain individual identity while simultaneously participating in a larger quantum whole. The Martinez twins' experience provided concrete evidence for this theory. During their synchronized session, Maria reported experiencing memories from Isabella's childhood as if they were her own, while Isabella simultaneously accessed Maria's memories. But this wasn't simple telepathy or memory sharing. both twins experienced these memories from multiple quantum perspectives simultaneously, creating what Dr. Thorne called a quantum memory mesh. This mesh of shared consciousness revealed another fascinating aspect of the paradox. When the twins attempted to determine which memories originally belonged to whom, they found it impossible. The act of observation caused the memories to exist in a state of quantum superposition, simultaneously belonging to both twins and neither. This phenomenon became known as the origin paradox, the impossibility of determining the source of a quantum entangled memory. The implications of these findings extend far beyond the laboratory. If consciousness naturally exists in a state that allows for quantum entanglement, what does this suggest about human connection and relationship? The boundaries we perceive between ourselves and others might be more fluid and permeable than we previously understood. Dr. Thorne's team has begun exploring practical applications of these insights. They've developed protocols for inducing controlled quantum entanglement between therapist and patient consciousnesses, leading to breakthrough treatments for trauma and psychological disorders. When both minds enter a shared quantum state, healing appears to occur at a deeper level than conventional therapy allows. As you rest here, contemplating these ideas, you might begin to sense the quantum nature of your own consciousness. The boundaries of your awareness might feel less rigid, more fluid. This is not imagination, but rather a glimpse of the quantum reality that underlies all conscious experience, a reality where individual identity exists in dynamic balance with universal connection. The Martinez twins case continues to yield new insights. Recent studies have shown that their quantum entangled state persists even when they're physically separated by great distances, suggesting that quantum consciousness operates independently of spatial constraints. This observation aligns with quantum physics principles like non-locality, where entangled particles maintain their connection regardless of distance. The discoveries at the Horizon Institute began to find practical applications in unexpected ways, transforming our understanding of everyday experiences. Dr. Thorne's team discovered that certain natural situations could create what they called micro-quantum mirrors, moments where ordinary consciousness spontaneously accessed its quantum nature without technological assistance. One of the most fascinating examples emerged through the work of Dr. Rachel Hammond, a sleep researcher who joined the Institute after noticing unusual patterns in her patients' experiences. She found that the hypnagogic state, that ethereal space between wakefulness and sleep that you might be approaching now, naturally produces effects similar to those of the quantum mirror. During this transition state, people often report experiences that perfectly align with quantum consciousness theory. They describe feeling multiple versions of themselves simultaneously, accessing memories that seem to belong to alternate timelines, and experiencing a dissolution of the boundaries between different states of awareness. Dr. Hammond's research revealed that these weren't mere dreams or hallucinations, but genuine glimpses of consciousness's quantum nature. Consider your own experience in these drowsy moments. You might notice thoughts becoming more fluid, memories mixing with possibilities, and the sense of self becoming more expansive. These sensations, according to Dr. Hammond's findings, represent your consciousness naturally accessing its quantum states. the barrier between different versions of reality becomes more permeable, allowing you to experience multiple possibilities simultaneously. The practical implications of these findings extended into therapeutic applications. Dr. Hammond developed what she called quantum state therapy, QST, a revolutionary approach that uses the hypnagogic state to help people access and integrate different aspects of their consciousness. Patients report profound healing experiences, often resolving long-standing emotional conflicts by experiencing multiple perspectives simultaneously. Take the case of Sarah Chen, no relation to Dr. Maya Chen, a QST patient who struggled with a traumatic memory of a car accident. During therapy sessions, timed to coincide with the hypnagogic state, Sarah was able to experience multiple quantum versions of the event simultaneously. She accessed timelines where the accident happened differently or didn't happen at all, while maintaining awareness of her actual experience. This quantum perspective allowed her to integrate the trauma in a way that traditional therapy hadn't achieved. The implications spread beyond therapy into everyday life. Dr. Hammond's team discovered that certain daily activities naturally enhance our access to quantum consciousness. Creative activities like art and music, meditation, and even certain forms of exercise can create conditions similar to the hypnagogic state, allowing glimpses of our quantum nature. James Morrison, a concert pianist working with the Institute, reported experiencing quantum consciousness regularly during performances. He described accessing multiple versions of the music simultaneously, as if all possible interpretations of a piece existed in superposition until the moment of playing. This quantum state allowed him to perform with a depth and spontaneity that transcended traditional practice and technique. These practical applications revealed something profound about the nature of consciousness and reality. The quantum mirror wasn't showing us something artificial or extraordinary. It was simply making visible what happens naturally in certain states of consciousness. We all experience moments of quantum awareness. We just haven't had the framework to recognize and understand them. Dr. Hammond's research also revealed that these natural quantum states often occur during significant life transitions. Major decisions, emotional breakthroughs, and creative insights frequently coincide with spontaneous access to quantum consciousness. It's as if our minds naturally seek the quantum perspective when we need to integrate multiple possibilities or resolve complex situations. As you rest here, you might notice your own consciousness beginning to access these quantum states naturally. The heaviness in your limbs, the floating sensation in your thoughts, the blurring of boundaries between different levels of awareness. These are all signs that your consciousness is touching its quantum nature. This state isn't something to force or control. It's a natural emergence of your mind's deeper capabilities. The practical implications continue to unfold. Educational institutions have begun incorporating insights from quantum consciousness research into their teaching methods. Athletes report enhanced performance when working with their quantum states. Artists and inventors describe breakthrough moments of creativity when accessing multiple quantum possibilities simultaneously. The quantum nature of consciousness, once considered purely theoretical, is proving to be a practical tool for human development and achievement. The most profound insights about quantum consciousness often emerge not from the laboratory instruments at the Horizon Institute, but from the deeply personal experiences of those who encounter it. Dr. Thorne's team began collecting what they called quantum experience narratives, QENs, detailed accounts from individuals whose lives were transformed through their interaction with quantum states of consciousness. Among the most touching accounts came from Michael Zhang, a grief counselor who discovered that his clients naturally accessed quantum consciousness states while processing loss. During sessions, bereaved individuals would sometimes report experiencing multiple timelines simultaneously, moments where their loved ones were both present and absent, where loss and connection coexisted in a quantum superposition of emotional states. This observation led to a breakthrough understanding of grief itself. Rather than seeing it as a linear process of letting go, Dr. Zhang's research suggested that grief might be better understood as a quantum state where multiple emotional realities exist simultaneously. His clients weren't just remembering their loved ones. They were accessing quantum states where different versions of their relationships continued to exist. Consider Emily Sullivan's experience after losing her mother to cancer. During a session with Dr. Zhang, she entered a quantum state where she could experience multiple versions of her relationship with her mother simultaneously. The actual timeline where her mother had passed, but also quantum possibilities where different choices had led to different outcomes. Rather than causing more pain, this quantum perspective brought a deep sense of peace and connection. It wasn't about changing what happened, Emily explained, but about understanding that my relationship with my mother exists in a quantum state that transcends ordinary time and space. She's both gone and not gone. Our connection both ended and endless. Somehow, experiencing these simultaneous truths brought healing I never thought possible. The implications of these experiences extended beyond grief counseling. Dr. Thorne's team discovered that quantum consciousness states naturally emerge during many of life's most significant emotional transitions. Whether processing joy, fear, love, or loss, humans seem to instinctively access quantum perspectives when grappling with profound emotional experiences. Laura Patel, a marriage counselor working with the Institute, found that relationships themselves exhibit quantum properties. Couples in conflict often describe experiencing multiple versions of their relationship simultaneously, the current difficulties existing alongside memories of better times and hopes for future healing. When helped to access these quantum states consciously, many couples found new paths to understanding and reconciliation. The human element of quantum consciousness research revealed something unexpected about the nature of emotion itself. Feelings, like quantum particles, appear to exist in states of superposition until observed and experienced. This understanding led to the development of quantum emotional integration, QEI, a therapeutic approach that helps people work with the quantum nature of their emotional lives. Take the case of David Foster, a veteran struggling with PTSD. Through QEI, he learned to access quantum states where his traumatic experiences existed alongside other possibilities and outcomes. This wasn't about denying or changing his memories, but about experiencing them from a quantum perspective that allowed for healing and integration. It's like finally seeing the full picture, David shared. My experiences aren't just fixed points in time. They're part of a quantum field of possibility. This understanding doesn't erase the trauma, but it gives me a new way to carry it, to integrate it into who I am becoming. As you rest here, you might notice your own emotions taking on this quantum quality. Feelings that seemed contradictory can coexist. Memories that felt fixed become more fluid, and the boundaries between different emotional states begin to blur. This isn't confusion or dissociation. It's your natural awareness, accessing the quantum nature of emotional experience. The human element of quantum consciousness reveals something profound about our capacity for growth and healing. We are not bound by linear time or fixed emotional states. Our consciousness naturally seeks quantum perspectives during times of deep feeling, allowing us to experience multiple truths simultaneously and find new paths to understanding and integration. Dr. Thorne often reminds her team that the quantum mirror simply makes visible what humans have always intuitively known, that our inner lives exist in states of infinite possibility, that our connections transcend ordinary space and time, and that our capacity for healing and growth is boundless when we embrace the quantum nature of consciousness. To help visualize the complex nature of quantum consciousness, Dr. Thorne's team developed what they called the infinite crystal model. Imagine a perfect crystal floating in space, each facet reflecting light in slightly different ways. Now imagine that each reflection represents a different state of consciousness, a different version of reality, all existing simultaneously within the same crystalline structure. The Horizon Institute's main atrium features a massive art installation based on this model, a suspended crystal structure designed by renowned artist Maya Lynn West. As visitors walk beneath it, the crystal's countless facets create an ever-changing pattern of light and shadow, each angle revealing new perspectives and possibilities. This visual metaphor helps people grasp the multidimensional nature of quantum consciousness in a way that words alone cannot convey. Dr. Kai Nakamura, the Institute's visualization specialist, expanded on this concept by creating what he calls quantum consciousness maps. Using advanced holographic technology, these maps represent the different layers and states of consciousness as intersecting fields of light and color. When quantum mirror participants view their own consciousness maps, they often report experiencing a profound sense of recognition, as if seeing their inner landscape made visible for the first time. Consider how water can exist simultaneously as solid, liquid, and gas at its triple point. Dr. Nakamura's maps reveal consciousness operating in a similar way, existing in multiple states simultaneously. The maps show how these states interact, blend, and influence each other, creating what he terms consciousness phase transitions, moments when awareness shifts between different quantum states. The visual metaphors extend beyond static images. The team developed dynamic simulations that represent consciousness as a flowing field of possibility. Imagine a river that splits into countless branches, then reunites, constantly shifting and changing. Each branch represents a different potential state of consciousness, while the overall flow represents the underlying unity that connects all these states. One particularly striking visualization emerged from work with musical prodigy Sophia Reyes. During her sessions with the quantum mirror, Sophia described experiencing music as visible patterns of light and color, a phenomenon the team called quantum synesthesia. The Institute's artists and programmers collaborated to create a visual representation of her experience, showing how musical consciousness exists in multiple states simultaneously, each possibility contributing to the final performance. Through these visual tools, abstract concepts become tangible experiences. The team discovered that when people could see representations of quantum consciousness states, they could more easily access and work with these states in their own awareness. It's as if the visualizations provided a map for navigating the quantum landscape of consciousness. Dr. West's latest installation takes this idea further, creating what she calls a quantum consciousness environment. Visitors enter a room where projected light patterns respond to their brainwave activity, creating a real-time visualization of their consciousness states. The patterns shift and change as people move through different levels of awareness, making visible the quantum nature of their own consciousness. As you rest here, you might try visualizing your own consciousness as a crystal with infinite facets. Each facet reflects a different aspect of your experience, a different potential state of being. Yet all these facets are part of the same crystal, just as all states of consciousness are expressions of your fundamental awareness. This visual metaphor can help you navigate the quantum nature of your own experience. The team also developed simpler, more accessible visualizations for everyday use. They found that simple geometric patterns, when properly designed, could help people access quantum consciousness states more easily. A series of nested circles, for instance, can represent the different layers of awareness existing simultaneously, while spiral patterns can evoke the feeling of consciousness folding back on itself in infinite regression. These visual tools have practical applications beyond the institute. Teachers use simplified versions to help students understand complex concepts. Therapists incorporate them into healing practices, and artists draw inspiration from them to create works that evoke quantum states of consciousness. The visualizations serve as bridges between ordinary awareness and the quantum realm of consciousness. Remember, these images are not just metaphors. They represent real aspects of consciousness that the quantum mirror has revealed. Just as light can be both wave and particle, consciousness can exist in multiple states simultaneously. The visual representations help us grasp this paradoxical nature, making the invisible visible and the incomprehensible comprehensible. The breakthrough understandings at the Horizon Institute attracted the attention of renowned experts from diverse fields, each bringing unique perspectives to the study of quantum consciousness. Dr. Richard Blackwood, a leading theoretical physicist from Cambridge, arrived with skepticism but left transformed by what he witnessed in the quantum mirror chambers. What we're seeing here, Dr. Blackwood explained, isn't just another interpretation of quantum mechanics. It's a fundamental revelation about the nature of reality itself. The quantum mirror isn't creating these effects. It's revealing the true quantum nature of consciousness that exists all around us, all the time. His collaboration with Dr. Thorne led to the development of the Unified Consciousness Field Theory, UCFT, which proposes that consciousness operates as a quantum field permeating all of space-time. This theory suggests that individual consciousness acts like a quantum receiver, tuning into different frequencies of this universal field to create our subjective experience of reality. Dr. Isabella Romano, a pioneering neuroscientist from the Max Planck Institute brought another crucial perspective. Her research into neural quantum coherence revealed that the brain maintains quantum states at temperatures and scales previously thought impossible. Using specially designed quantum sensors, she detected patterns of quantum entanglement between neurons that shouldn't exist according to conventional physics. The human brain, Dr. Romano observed, appears to be a macroscopic quantum system capable of sustaining coherent quantum states that influence our conscious experience. The quantum mirror simply amplifies these naturally occurring quantum processes, making them accessible to our awareness. Her work with the Institute led to the discovery of what she termed neural quantum networks, intricate webs of entangled neurons that maintain quantum coherence across significant portions of the brain. These networks appear to play a crucial role in consciousness, memory, and the experience of self. The implications of these findings attracted Dr. Marcus Way, a renowned philosopher of mind from Stanford. His analysis of the quantum mirror phenomena suggested a resolution to the long-standing hard problem of consciousness, how subjective experience arises from physical processes in the brain. The quantum nature of consciousness, Dr. Way proposed, bridges the gap between physical and experiential reality. When we understand consciousness as a quantum phenomenon, the distinction between observer and observed, between mind and matter, dissolves into a more fundamental unity. This philosophical insight gained unexpected support from Dr. Sarah O'Connor, an expert in indigenous wisdom traditions at Oxford. She noted striking parallels between quantum consciousness experiences and ancient descriptions of expanded awareness states. The quantum mirror, she suggested, was providing scientific validation for insights that traditional cultures had understood for millennia. What's most remarkable, Dr. O'Connor noted, is how the quantum mirror experiences align with descriptions from widely separated cultures and traditions. Whether we look at Australian Aboriginal Dreamtime concepts, Hindu Vedantic philosophy, or Native American medicine traditions, we find sophisticated understandings of consciousness that mirror what we're now discovering through quantum research. These expert perspectives converged around a revolutionary, new understanding of consciousness, rather than seeing it as a product of classical brain function. Consciousness began to be understood as a fundamental quantum property of the universe, with individual minds acting as specialized instruments for accessing and processing this quantum reality. Dr. Thorne's team also welcomed Dr. Julia Chang, a quantum computing pioneer from MIT. Her expertise helped explain how the brain might process quantum information without succumbing to decoherence, a major challenge in building quantum computers. Her research suggested that neural structures might use quantum error correction mechanisms far more sophisticated than anything currently achievable in artificial systems. The brain's ability to maintain quantum coherence, Dr. Chang explained, appears to rely on biological structures that have evolved specifically for this purpose. Understanding these natural quantum processors could revolutionize not just our understanding of consciousness, but the entire field of quantum computing. As you rest here, considering these expert insights, you might reflect on how your own consciousness participates in this quantum reality. The very act of understanding these concepts creates new quantum states in your awareness, expanding your perception of what consciousness can be. These diverse expert perspectives continue to shape our understanding of quantum consciousness, suggesting that we're only beginning to grasp the full implications of these discoveries. Each new insight opens new questions, inviting deeper exploration of consciousness's quantum nature. Beyond the scientific measurements and expert analyses, the quantum mirror revelations point to something even more profound about the nature of existence itself. Within the depths of the Horizon Institute's meditation chamber, designed specifically for contemplating these deeper implications, researchers began to uncover what they called the ultimate observer paradox. This paradox emerged from a simple yet profound question. If consciousness exists in quantum superposition, who or what observes these states to collapse them into our experienced reality? Dr. Thorne and her team discovered that this question led to an infinite regression of observers, each level of consciousness observing the one below it, creating what they termed infinite awareness loops. Consider the implications. When you observe your own thoughts, who is doing the observing? And who is observing that observer? The quantum mirror revealed that this seemingly philosophical puzzle has practical manifestations in the structure of consciousness itself. Each level of observation creates new quantum states, which themselves can be observed, creating an endless cascade of awareness. Dr. Alexandra Kovacs, the Institute's philosophical advisor, proposed that this infinite regression might actually be fundamental to the nature of consciousness. What we're seeing, she explained, is not a flaw in our understanding, but rather the essential structure of awareness itself. Consciousness is inherently recursive, observing itself in an eternal dance of awareness. This understanding gained unexpected support from the Institute's quantum computing division. Dr. James Chen discovered that these infinite awareness loops displayed mathematical patterns remarkably similar to strange attractors in chaos theory. This suggested that consciousness might operate as a kind of quantum fractal, each level of awareness containing and reflecting all other levels. The implications extend far beyond academic interest. In the meditation chamber, participants often report experiencing these multiple levels of awareness simultaneously. They describe it as a sensation of infinite depth, as if their consciousness contains countless nested layers of observation, each as real and valid as the last. Yet somehow, rather than being overwhelming, this experience often brings a profound sense of peace and integration. Dr. Maria Santiago, an expert in contemplative traditions, noted striking parallels between these experiences and ancient mystical accounts. What we're discovering through quantum science, she observed, bears remarkable similarity to what contemplatives have described for millennia. The inherent emptiness and fullness of consciousness, its simultaneous unity and multiplicity. The ultimate observer paradox also raises profound questions about the nature of reality itself. If consciousness exists in infinite recursive loops, where does the physical world fit in? The team's research suggests that what we call physical reality might be better understood as a particular pattern of stability within these infinite loops of awareness, a kind of consensus reality emerging from the interaction of countless quantum consciousness states. Think about your own experience in this moment. As you rest here, aware of these words, you can also become aware of your awareness of these words, and then aware of that awareness, and so on. The quantum mirror reveals that This isn't just a mental exercise, it's a direct experience of consciousness's fractal nature, its ability to contain infinite levels of observation within itself. Dr. Thorne's team discovered that this understanding has practical applications for personal growth and development. By consciously engaging with different levels of awareness, people can access new perspectives and possibilities within themselves. The infinite regression of consciousness becomes not a philosophical puzzle to solve, but a tool for expanding understanding and perception. The research also revealed something unexpected about the relationship between individual and universal consciousness. Each person's awareness appears to be a unique configuration of the universal quantum consciousness field, like a wave pattern on the ocean of being. The ultimate observer paradox suggests that our individual consciousness is both distinct and inseparable from the whole, another paradox that points to deeper truth. As you move closer to sleep, you might notice how your consciousness naturally begins to experience these multiple levels of awareness. The boundaries between observer and observed become more fluid, allowing you to experience the recursive nature of awareness directly. This state, according to the Institute's research, provides a natural window into the quantum nature of consciousness. The ripple effects of the Horizon Institute's discoveries began to transform communities in unexpected ways. In the small town of Aurora Vale, nestled in the fjords near the Institute, residents started reporting strange collective experiences. People found themselves sharing dreams, finishing each other's thoughts, and experiencing moments of spontaneous quantum consciousness synchronization. Dr. Thorne's team established what they called the Community Quantum Resonance Project to study these phenomena. They discovered that when groups of people lived in close proximity to quantum mirror research, their consciousness fields began to naturally entangle, creating what Dr. Chen termed quantum social networks, invisible but measurable webs of shared awareness. The local high school became an unexpected laboratory for these effects. Students and teachers reported experiencing simultaneous insights during class discussions, as if accessing a shared field of knowledge. Principal Sarah Anderson worked with the Institute to document these occurrences, leading to the development of quantum learning environments, educational spaces designed to facilitate collective consciousness resonance. What we're seeing, explained Dr. Lisa Morrison, the Institute's education specialist, is that learning itself operates through quantum principles. When students and teachers align their consciousness fields, information transfers in ways that transcend traditional teaching methods. It's as if the classroom becomes a shared quantum space of understanding. The effects extended beyond education into community health. Dr. Thomas Rivera, the town's primary physician, noticed that his patients began experiencing synchronized healing responses. When one person in the community recovered from an illness, others with similar conditions often showed spontaneous improvement. The Institute's research suggested that healing information was being shared through quantum consciousness networks. Aurora Vale's artists and musicians found themselves experiencing unprecedented levels of collective creativity. The local arts center became a hub for what they called quantum collaborations, performances and exhibitions, where multiple artists would spontaneously create works that seemed impossibly coordinated, as if drawing from a shared well of inspiration. Marina Santos, a local painter, described experiencing moments where she could sense the creative intentions of other artists in the community. "It's not like mind reading," she explained, "more like we're all accessing the same quantum field of creative possibility. Our individual expressions remain unique, but they're somehow connected at a deeper level." The business community wasn't immune to these effects. Local entrepreneurs reported increased intuitive understanding of market trends and customer needs. The town's economic planning began to show signs of what economists called quantum coherence, a natural alignment of business activities that created sustainable prosperity without traditional competitive struggles. Dr. Thorne's team documented how these community effects created feedback loops with individual consciousness development. As more people in Aurora Vale experienced quantum consciousness states, it became easier for others to access similar experiences. The community itself seemed to be evolving into a kind of quantum consciousness incubator. The implications for social development were profound. Traditional models of community building focused on external structures and systems, but the quantum consciousness research suggested that invisible fields of shared awareness might be equally important. Communities that cultivated these quantum connections showed increased resilience, creativity, and collective intelligence. Consider the experience of the local retirement community, Silver Pines. Residents began reporting unprecedented levels of psychological well-being and cognitive vitality. The Institute's measurements showed that the elderly residents had naturally formed quantum consciousness networks that supported mental clarity and emotional health. This led to the development of quantum social support programs designed to facilitate these beneficial connections. As you rest here, you might sense your own connection to these quantum social fields. Even in solitude, our consciousness remains entangled with countless others, participating in the vast web of shared awareness that underlies human community. The research suggests that sleep itself might be a time when these quantum connections are particularly active, allowing for deep integration of collective experience. The town's children seemed particularly attuned to these quantum effects. The local playground became a laboratory for what Dr. Chen called spontaneous quantum play, activities where children naturally organized themselves in patterns that reflected quantum principles of interconnection and simultaneous possibility. This led to new understanding of child development and the role of quantum consciousness in human growth. Not everyone embraced the quantum consciousness discoveries with open arms. Dr. Victor Stern, a prominent neuroscientist from Stanford, arrived at the Horizon Institute with a detailed critique of their findings. His presence sparked what became known as the Quantum Consciousness Debates, a series of fascinating discussions that ultimately deepened understanding of these phenomena. How can we be certain, Dr. Stern challenged, that what we're observing isn't simply an elaborate form of suggestion or shared hallucination? His skepticism led to the development of more rigorous testing protocols, including double-blind studies where neither researchers nor participants knew whether they were interacting with actual quantum mirrors or sophisticated replicas. Surprisingly, these stricter controls yielded even more compelling evidence. Dr. Thorne's team discovered that quantum consciousness effects occurred regardless of participants' expectations or beliefs. Even hardcore skeptics experienced verifiable quantum states when exposed to the mirror, while convincing replicas produced no such effects despite positive expectations. Dr. Emily Nash, a philosopher of science from Oxford, proposed a middle ground. Perhaps, she suggested, we're witnessing something that transcends our current categories of objective and subjective experience. The quantum mirror might be revealing a level of reality where these distinctions break down entirely. This perspective gained support from unexpected quarters. Dr. Rahman al-Rashid, a quantum physicist specializing in measurement theory, pointed out that the observer effect in quantum mechanics had always hinted at consciousness playing a fundamental role in reality. What we're seeing at the Institute, he argued, might be the first direct evidence of how consciousness and quantum mechanics interweave. The debates extended into practical applications. Dr. Laura Chen, no relation to Dr. Maya Chen, from MIT's Technology Ethics Department, raised important questions about the societal implications of quantum consciousness technology. If consciousness can be quantum entangled, she asked, what does this mean for privacy, individual autonomy, and the nature of human relationship? These concerns led to the establishment of the Quantum Ethics Council, a diverse group of experts tasked with examining the moral and social implications of quantum consciousness research. Their discussions revealed how different cultural and philosophical perspectives viewed these discoveries differently. Indigenous leaders brought valuable insights to these discussions. Elder Sarah White-Cloud pointed out that many traditional cultures had long understood consciousness as fundamentally interconnected. What your quantum mirror shows, she explained, our ancestors knew through direct experience. The question isn't whether these effects are real, but how to engage with them responsibly. Even skeptics like Dr. Stern had to acknowledge the measurable impacts on communities like Aurora Vale. The debate shifted from whether quantum consciousness effects were real to how best to understand and work with them. This led to more nuanced research questions and increasingly sophisticated experimental designs. Dr. Thorne encouraged these diverse viewpoints, recognizing that the phenomenon they were studying was too complex to be understood from any single perspective. The quantum mirror seemed to reveal different aspects of itself depending on how it was approached, much like the quantum particles it helped study. Consider your own skepticism and openness as you rest here. Notice how different perspectives on these phenomena might arise in your mind, each offering its own valuable insights. The research suggests that this very multiplicity of viewpoints might itself be a quantum phenomenon, with different interpretations existing in superposition until we observe them. The debates also revealed something unexpected about the nature of scientific discovery itself. Dr. Jessica Martinez, a historian of science, noted how the quantum consciousness research was breaking down traditional boundaries between objective and subjective knowledge. We're not just studying consciousness, she observed. We're developing new ways of knowing itself. These various perspectives contributed to a richer understanding of quantum consciousness. Rather than weakening the research, the challenges and critiques helped refine methods, clarify concepts, and reveal new aspects of these phenomena. The Horizon Institute began incorporating multiple theoretical frameworks, recognizing that different models might capture different aspects of quantum consciousness reality. As the debates continued, they demonstrated something profound about consciousness itself, its ability to hold multiple, even contradictory perspectives simultaneously. This capacity for cognitive quantum superposition became a subject of study in itself, suggesting that our ability to entertain different viewpoints might be intrinsically linked to consciousness's quantum nature. Deep within the Horizon Institute's quantum physics laboratory, Dr. Thorne made a startling discovery that connected seemingly disparate aspects of their research. While studying the quantum mirror's effects on individual consciousness, she noticed patterns that perfectly matched the community-wide phenomena observed in Aurora Vale. This revelation led to what became known as the resonance bridge theory. The theory suggested that quantum consciousness operated on multiple scales simultaneously, creating bridges between individual and collective experience. Dr. Maya Chen's team found that these bridges manifested as measurable quantum fields, linking personal consciousness to larger fields of shared awareness through what they termed harmonic resonance patterns. Consider the case of twins Anna and Michael Barrett, musicians who participated in the Institute's research. During their quantum mirror sessions, their individual consciousness patterns synchronized not only with each other, but also with the larger quantum field of Aurora Vale's artistic community. More surprisingly, these synchronizations appeared to transcend ordinary space and time. It's as if consciousness creates quantum bridges across different scales of reality, explained Dr. Nathan Phillips, the Institute's systems theorist. Individual awareness, relationship dynamics, community fields, and even global consciousness patterns all interconnect through these quantum resonance bridges. The quantum mirror simply makes these connections visible and accessible. The implications extended into unexpected areas. Dr. Thorne's team discovered that these resonance bridges played a crucial role in memory formation and recall. Individual memories, they found, weren't stored solely in the brain, but existed in a kind of quantum network that connected personal experience to collective consciousness fields. This understanding revolutionized their approach to studying consciousness. Rather than focusing on isolated phenomena, researchers began mapping the intricate web of quantum connections that linked different levels of awareness. They found that every quantum consciousness effect they studied was connected to all others through these resonance bridges. The discovery helped explain many previously puzzling observations. Why did quantum mirror experiences seem to become stronger when multiple people participated simultaneously? How could individual consciousness changes affect entire communities? The resonance bridge theory provided a framework for understanding these interconnections. Dr. Sophia Patel, an expert in complex systems, developed mathematical models showing how these quantum bridges created feedback loops between different scales of consciousness. Each level of awareness, she explained, from individual to universal, influences and is influenced by all other levels through these quantum resonance patterns. As you rest here, you might begin to sense these quantum bridges in your own experience. The feeling of connection to others, the sense of participating in something larger than yourself, the intuitive understanding of collective patterns. These might all be direct experiences of consciousness's quantum interconnectivity. The research revealed that sleep and dreams played a special role in these quantum bridges. During sleep, the usual boundaries between individual and collective consciousness became more permeable, allowing for deeper integration and exchange through the quantum resonance networks. This explained why communities like Aurora Vale often reported shared dream experiences and synchronized insights. Dr. Thorne's team also discovered that meditation and other contemplative practices could strengthen these quantum bridges. Long-term meditators showed enhanced ability to consciously access and work with these connections, suggesting that traditional spiritual practices might have been developing these capacities all along. The implications for healing and therapy were profound. Dr. Rachel Hammond's therapeutic approaches began incorporating work with these quantum bridges, helping clients access healing resources not just from their individual consciousness, but from the larger fields of collective awareness. The results showed remarkable effectiveness for both personal and community healing. These discoveries led to the development of new technologies designed to support and enhance quantum bridge formation. The Institute created what they called resonance chambers, spaces specifically designed to facilitate conscious engagement with these quantum connections. These chambers became valuable tools for research, healing, and consciousness development. The resonance bridge theory also provided new insights into the nature of time and causality. The quantum bridges appeared to operate outside normal temporal constraints, suggesting that consciousness could create connections across different time frames as easily as across space. This helped explain many of the paradoxical aspects of quantum mirror experiences, where past, present, and future seem to exist simultaneously. As the Horizon Institute's research advanced, glimpses of future possibilities began to emerge. Dr. Thorne and her team started documenting what they called quantum consciousness precognition, instances where the quantum mirror revealed potential future developments in consciousness evolution. These weren't simple predictions, but rather insights into the quantum possibilities already present in current consciousness states. Dr. Isabella Chen, the Institute's future studies specialist, developed the quantum potential mapping technique to track these emerging patterns. Using advanced quantum sensors combined with artificial intelligence analysis, her team identified what appeared to be evolutionary trajectories in human consciousness development. These trajectories suggested humanity might be approaching what they termed a quantum consciousness threshold. We're seeing evidence, Dr. Chen explained, that human consciousness is naturally evolving toward greater quantum coherence. The experiences facilitated by the quantum mirror might be previews of capacities that will become increasingly common in coming generations. We're witnessing the early stages of a fundamental shift in human awareness. Consider the children born in Aurora Vale since the establishment of the Institute. These youngsters, dubbed quantum natives by researchers, show natural abilities to access quantum consciousness states that adults must work to achieve. They frequently demonstrate spontaneous awareness of quantum entanglement, easily perceiving connections and possibilities that older generations find paradoxical. Dr. Sarah Rodriguez, a pediatric consciousness researcher, documented remarkable developments in these children's cognitive abilities. They don't just think differently, she noted. They perceive reality differently. For them, quantum superposition isn't a strange concept. It's their natural way of experiencing the world. They readily understand and work with multiple simultaneous possibilities. The implications for education proved particularly significant. Traditional educational models, based on linear learning and fixed outcomes, proved inadequate for these quantum-native children. The Institute began developing what they called quantum education protocols, teaching methods that embraced simultaneous multiple possibilities and quantum learning states. Looking further ahead, Dr. Thorne's team identified potential developments in human relationship and community formation. Their research suggested that as quantum consciousness capabilities expand, new forms of human connection and organization would emerge. These might transcend current limitations of space and time, allowing for deeper and more meaningful forms of human collaboration. The quantum mirror revealed possibilities for technological development as well. Dr. James Turner, the Institute's quantum computing expert, discovered that quantum-conscious individuals could interact with quantum computers in unprecedented ways. This suggested future technologies might merge quantum computing with quantum consciousness, creating interfaces that work through direct consciousness interaction. Imagine, Dr. Turner proposed, technology that responds not to physical input, but to quantum consciousness states. We're seeing early signs that this is possible. The quantum mirror might be just the first step toward a whole new paradigm of human-technology interaction. As you rest here, you might sense some of these future possibilities stirring in your own consciousness. The research suggests that every human mind contains seeds of these emerging capabilities, waiting to be recognized and developed. The future of consciousness isn't just coming toward us. It's already present in potential form within us. Environmental implications also emerged from the research. Dr. Elena Martinez, an ecological consciousness researcher, found evidence that enhanced quantum consciousness states naturally led to greater environmental awareness and responsibility. As people become more conscious of quantum interconnection, she explained, they naturally begin to perceive and care for the environmental systems that support life. The Institute's future projections suggested that these developments might lead to what they called quantum social evolution, transformations in human society driven by expanded consciousness capabilities. Dr. Thorne's team identified potential stages in this evolution, from initial quantum awareness through to fully integrated quantum consciousness societies. However, they also recognized that this evolution wasn't guaranteed. Dr. Maya Chen emphasized that conscious participation and development would be crucial. The quantum mirror shows us possibilities, she noted, but realizing them requires active engagement with our quantum consciousness potential. The future remains a field of quantum possibility until we help collapse it into reality through our choices and development. The research suggested that sleep itself might play a crucial role in this evolution. During sleep, particularly in the state you're approaching now, consciousness naturally explores quantum possibilities. These nocturnal quantum consciousness states might be preparing us for the wider quantum awareness emerging in human evolution. The Horizon Institute's discoveries began translating into practical applications through what they called the Quantum Integration Protocol, QIP. This systematic approach, developed by Dr. Thorne and her team, offered concrete steps for individuals and communities to engage with quantum consciousness states in their daily lives. At the heart of the protocol was what Dr. Maya Chen termed quantum mindfulness, a practice combining traditional meditation techniques with new insights from quantum consciousness research. The approach began with simple exercises in awareness expansion, gradually progressing to more sophisticated engagement with quantum states. Start by noticing the multiple layers of your awareness, Dr. Chen would instruct participants. Become conscious of how your attention can hold multiple focus points simultaneously. This natural capacity for parallel awareness is your first entry point into quantum consciousness states. These basic exercises proved remarkably effective, with participants reporting significant shifts in perception within weeks of beginning practice. Dr. Thomas Rivera developed specific applications for healthcare settings. His Quantum Healing Integration Program taught medical professionals to work with quantum consciousness states to enhance treatment outcomes. Hospitals implementing these protocols reported improved recovery rates and better patient experiences, particularly in cases involving chronic conditions. Consider the case of Memorial Hospital in Aurora Vale. After implementing the QIP in their intensive care unit, they documented a 40% improvement in patient recovery rates. Staff members trained in quantum consciousness techniques found themselves better able to anticipate patient needs and coordinate care, creating what Dr. Rivera called quantum healing fields throughout the facility. For educators, Dr. Sarah Anderson created the Quantum Learning Protocol, adapting KIP principles for classroom settings. Teachers learned to facilitate quantum consciousness states that enhanced learning and creativity. Students participating in these programs showed remarkable improvements, not just in academic performance, but in overall development. The key, Dr. Anderson explained, is understanding that learning isn't just about absorbing information. It's about engaging with the quantum field of knowledge itself. When students learn to access quantum consciousness states, they tap into broader fields of understanding that transform the learning process. The Institute also developed practical applications for business and organizational development. Dr. James Morrison's Quantum Leadership Program taught executives and managers to work with quantum consciousness states to enhance decision-making and innovation. Organizations implementing these practices reported significant improvements in collaboration and creative problem-solving. For individuals seeking to work with these principles at home, Dr. Rachel Hammond created the Daily Quantum Practice Guide. This accessible program offered simple exercises that could be integrated into ordinary routines, allowing people to develop their quantum consciousness capabilities gradually and naturally. As you rest here, you might try one of the basic QIP exercises. Notice how your awareness can expand to include multiple aspects of your experience simultaneously. The sound of these words, physical sensations, emotional states, and the space of consciousness itself. This simple practice begins developing your capacity for quantum consciousness states. The protocol also included specific practices for relationships and communication. Dr. Elena Patel's quantum dialogue technique taught couples and families to engage from quantum consciousness states, leading to deeper understanding and more harmonious interactions. These practices proved particularly effective in resolving long-standing conflicts and strengthening emotional bonds. For communities, the Institute developed the Collective Quantum Integration Program. This systematic approach helped groups create what Dr. Thorne called quantum coherent fields, shared spaces of enhanced awareness that supported collective development and creativity. Aurora Vale's successful implementation of these practices became a model for other communities worldwide. The research revealed that certain times of day were particularly conducive to quantum consciousness practice. The period just before sleep, like now, offered special opportunities for quantum integration. Dr. Hammond developed specific protocols for this transition time, helping people use these natural windows for enhanced quantum consciousness development. These practical applications demonstrated something important about quantum consciousness. While it might seem exotic or abstract, it could be approached through simple, systematic steps. The key was consistent practice and gradual development, allowing natural quantum capabilities to emerge at their own pace. The transformation of Grace Sullivan's life offers one of the most compelling examples of quantum consciousness integration. A former skeptic and mechanical engineer, Grace initially approached the Horizon Institute's research with calculated doubt. Her journey from skepticism to profound understanding illuminates the practical impact of quantum consciousness work. During her first quantum mirror session, Grace experienced what she later described as the simultaneous existence of all possible career choices she had ever considered. She perceived not just hypothetical alternatives, but actually experienced living multiple professional lives simultaneously. As an engineer, artist, teacher, and researcher, each path felt equally real and valid in her quantum expanded awareness. It wasn't like imagining different possibilities, Grace explained in her detailed journal entries. I was literally experiencing multiple versions of my life simultaneously, each with its own rich detail and emotional texture. The quantum mirror revealed that these weren't just paths not taken. They were actual quantum states of my consciousness existing in superposition. Dr. Thorne's team documented remarkable changes in Grace's neural patterns during these experiences. Her brain showed unprecedented levels of quantum coherence, maintaining multiple stable patterns simultaneously in what researchers termed quantum neural networks. These patterns suggested her consciousness was literally operating in multiple states at once. The practical implications of Grace's experience soon became evident. She found herself able to approach engineering problems with new creativity, integrating insights from her quantum-experienced artistic and teaching selves. Her work at Aurora Vale's Technology Center began producing innovations that seemed to draw on knowledge she hadn't consciously acquired. Consider the quantum consciousness device she developed, a simple yet elegant tool that helped others access expanded states of awareness. The design seemed to emerge from a synthesis of engineering precision and artistic intuition, demonstrating how quantum consciousness integration could enhance professional capabilities in unexpected ways. Dr. Alexandra Novak's detailed case study of Grace revealed something even more intriguing. The quantum coherence patterns in Grace's brain began influencing those around her, creating what researchers called quantum resonance fields that enhanced cognitive function in her colleagues. Her presence alone seemed to facilitate others' access to quantum consciousness states. The effects extended into her personal life. Grace's relationship with her teenage daughter, previously strained, transformed as she learned to maintain quantum awareness during their interactions. She could simultaneously experience her daughter's perspective and her own, leading to deeper understanding and more effective communication. It's as if quantum consciousness gave me access to a parent's manual I didn't know existed, Grace noted. I can feel the multiple possibilities in each interaction, choosing responses that create the most positive resonance between us. Her daughter, initially skeptical, began showing signs of enhanced quantum awareness herself. Grace's experience with sleep and dreams provided another fascinating example of quantum consciousness integration. She began experiencing what Dr. Chen called quantum dream time, states where she could consciously explore multiple dream realities simultaneously while maintaining lucid awareness. These nocturnal experiences proved particularly valuable for problem solving. Grace would often wake with solutions to complex engineering challenges, drawing on information seemingly accessed through quantum consciousness states during sleep. The Institute's research suggested she was accessing what they termed quantum information fields, pools of knowledge available to consciousness operating in quantum states. The community impact of Grace's transformation became evident in unexpected ways. Her quantum coherence began influencing group dynamics in meetings and social gatherings. People reported feeling more creative, insightful, and connected when working with her. The effect was measurable. Dr. Thorne's team documented increased quantum field activity in spaces where Grace spent significant time. As you rest here, considering Grace's journey, you might notice subtle shifts in your own awareness. The research suggests that simply learning about quantum consciousness experiences can begin activating similar potentials in others. Grace's case demonstrates how individual quantum consciousness development can catalyze wider fields of transformation. Her ongoing documentation provides valuable insights into the long-term effects of quantum consciousness integration. 3 years after her initial quantum mirror experience, Grace continues to develop new capabilities. Her case suggests that quantum consciousness development might be an open-ended process, continuously unfolding new potentials and possibilities. The Horizon Institute's discoveries began finding immediate applications in addressing contemporary challenges. As global complexities mounted, quantum consciousness research offered new approaches to seemingly intractable problems. Dr. Thorne's team focused particularly on what they called quantum crisis resolution, applying quantum consciousness principles to current world issues. The first major breakthrough came through their work with climate scientists. Dr. Rebecca Martinez, an environmental researcher, discovered that people in quantum consciousness states could perceive environmental systems with unprecedented clarity. They could simultaneously experience multiple layers of ecological interaction, understanding complex environmental relationships in ways that transformed their approach to conservation. When accessing quantum consciousness states, Dr. Martinez explained, participants could literally feel the interconnections between different aspects of ecosystems. They experienced themselves as part of the environmental quantum field, leading to naturally sustainable behaviors. This understanding led to the development of quantum environmental awareness programs that showed remarkable success in promoting ecological responsibility. Consider the transformation of Riverdale, a community near Aurora Vale that had long struggled with environmental challenges. After implementing quantum consciousness-based environmental programs, residents began making choices that naturally aligned with ecological health. They weren't following rules or regulations. They were responding to direct perception of environmental quantum fields. The applications extended into conflict resolution. Dr. Samuel Cohen, a peace studies researcher, developed what he called quantum dialogue protocols for addressing international tensions. These approaches helped participants access quantum consciousness states where they could experience multiple perspectives simultaneously, leading to breakthrough understandings in seemingly deadlocked situations. In quantum consciousness states, Dr. Cohen noted, people naturally perceive the underlying unity beneath surface conflicts. They can hold multiple viewpoints simultaneously while accessing deeper fields of shared understanding. His work with international diplomats showed promising results in reducing tensions and finding innovative solutions to long-standing disputes. The implications for mental health proved particularly significant. Dr. Rachel Hammond's team discovered that many contemporary psychological challenges responded well to quantum consciousness-based approaches. Depression, anxiety, and other common conditions often improved when treated through methods that helped people access their quantum consciousness potential. Take the case of the Aurora Vale Mental Health Center. After implementing quantum consciousness protocols, they documented unprecedented improvement rates among patients. People learned to access quantum states where they could experience multiple possibilities beyond their current challenges, naturally finding paths to greater well-being. The research also revealed important applications for contemporary education challenges. Dr. Sarah Anderson's Quantum Learning Integration Program helped schools address modern learning difficulties in revolutionary ways. Students struggling with traditional education often thrived when taught to access quantum consciousness states during learning. We're finding that many current learning challenges stem from trying to force quantum-capable minds into linear educational models, Dr. Anderson explained. When we help students access their natural quantum consciousness capabilities, learning becomes more natural and effective. Her programs showed particular success with students previously labeled as having attention or learning difficulties. As you rest here, you might reflect on how these applications relate to challenges in your own life. The research suggests that quantum consciousness states offer new approaches to many contemporary difficulties, providing perspectives and possibilities not available through conventional thinking. The business world also found valuable applications in quantum consciousness research. Dr. James Morrison's work with corporate leaders revealed how quantum consciousness states could help navigate modern market complexities. Executives learned to access multiple possibility fields simultaneously, making more effective decisions in rapidly changing environments. Perhaps most significantly, the research offered new approaches to technological development. Dr. Elena Thorne's team discovered that quantum consciousness states enhanced people's ability to work with advanced technologies. This led to the development of what they called quantum human interfaces, new ways of integrating human consciousness with technological systems. These applications demonstrated something important about quantum consciousness. Its relevance wasn't limited to abstract or future possibilities. The research offered practical tools for addressing present-day challenges, suggesting that many current problems might be better approached through expanded consciousness states. The quantum mirror revealed something profound about human potential. Our capacity for growth appears to be fundamentally quantum in nature. Dr. Thorne's team discovered what they called quantum growth patterns, ways in which consciousness naturally evolves through accessing multiple states of development simultaneously. At the Institute's Personal Development Center, researchers documented remarkable transformations in participants who learned to work with these quantum growth patterns. Unlike traditional step-by-step development, quantum growth occurred in what Dr. Maya Chen termed simultaneous unfolding, multiple aspects of personality and capability developing in parallel through quantum state access. Consider the experience of Marcus Torres, a musician who participated in the Institute's growth studies. During quantum mirror sessions, he found himself able to access multiple levels of musical ability simultaneously, rather than progressing linearly from beginner to advanced states. He could experience and integrate different skill levels at once, leading to unprecedented rapid development. It wasn't like practicing in the usual way, Marcus explained. I could feel multiple versions of my musical self existing simultaneously. The beginner's openness, the intermediate player's technical development, the advanced musician's intuitive understanding. Somehow, I could learn from all these states at once. Dr. Alexandra Novak's research revealed that this quantum growth phenomenon wasn't limited to specific skills. People working with quantum consciousness states showed accelerated development across multiple areas simultaneously. Emotional intelligence, cognitive capability, creative expression, and interpersonal skills all evolved together in what she called quantum developmental synthesis. The implications for personal transformation were profound. Traditional models of human development, based on linear progression through fixed stages, needed revision. The quantum mirror showed that consciousness could access and integrate multiple developmental stages simultaneously, creating new possibilities for growth and evolution. In the Institute's meditation hall, specially designed to facilitate quantum growth states, participants reported experiencing what Dr. Rachel Hammond called quantum personality integration. They could simultaneously access and harmonize different aspects of their personality, resolving internal conflicts through experiencing multiple self-states at once. Think of it like a symphony, Dr. Hammond explained. Rather than developing one instrument at a time, quantum growth allows the entire orchestra of self to develop and harmonize simultaneously. Each aspect of personality contributes to a greater whole, creating new possibilities for integration and expression. The research revealed that sleep played a crucial role in this quantum growth process. During sleep, particularly in the state you're approaching now, consciousness naturally enters quantum growth states. Dreams become opportunities for multiple aspects of self to develop and integrate, contributing to what researchers called quantum neural reorganization. Dr. Thomas Rivera's studies of brain development during these processes showed remarkable results. Rather than the usual pattern of sequential neural development. Participants experiencing quantum growth states showed simultaneous development across multiple brain networks. This suggested that consciousness could facilitate parallel development of different neural capabilities. As you rest here, you might notice subtle sensations of this quantum growth process. The research suggests that simply being aware of these possibilities can activate natural quantum development patterns. Your consciousness might already be exploring multiple growth states, integrating different aspects of your potential. The implications extended into childhood development. Dr. Sarah Anderson's work with young people revealed that children naturally access quantum growth states when given appropriate support. This led to the development of quantum-aware parenting approaches that helped parents support their children's natural developmental patterns. Lucy Chen, age 7, provided a fascinating example. During quantum-aware education sessions, she demonstrated the ability to simultaneously develop mathematical understanding, artistic expression, and emotional intelligence. Her growth wasn't compartmentalized, but occurred in what researchers called quantum developmental waves, multiple capabilities evolving in synchronized patterns. The research suggested that this quantum approach to growth might be more natural than traditional linear models. Dr. Elena Thorne's team discovered that forcing development into strictly sequential patterns might actually inhibit our natural quantum growth potential. By allowing consciousness to access multiple developmental states simultaneously, people often experienced more balanced and integrated growth. As the Horizon Institute collected more data on quantum consciousness experiences, certain patterns began emerging with remarkable consistency. Dr. Thorne's team identified what they called universal quantum signatures, recurring themes and experiences that appeared across different cultures, backgrounds, and individual circumstances. One of the most striking patterns was what Dr. Maya Chen termed the quantum recognition effect. Regardless of their background or beliefs, when people first experienced quantum consciousness states through the mirror, they often reported a profound sense of familiarity. It was as if they were remembering something they had always known, rather than discovering something new. This isn't just déjà vu, Dr. Chen explained. Participants consistently report recognizing these quantum states as fundamental to their nature, as if they're awakening to an aspect of consciousness that was always present but previously unnoticed. This pattern appeared so consistently that researchers began using it as a reliable indicator of genuine quantum consciousness access. Consider the experience of participants from widely different backgrounds. A Buddhist monk from Tibet, a quantum physicist from MIT, and a farmer from rural Iowa all described their first quantum mirror experiences using remarkably similar language. Each spoke of coming home to a state of consciousness that felt both completely new and deeply familiar. Dr. Alexandra Novak's research revealed another consistent pattern, what she called quantum emotional resonance. When people accessed quantum consciousness states, they consistently experienced emotions in a particular way. Rather than feeling single emotions sequentially, they could experience multiple emotional states simultaneously, while maintaining a sense of underlying unity. This pattern proved so reliable that the Institute developed it into a diagnostic tool. By measuring how people experienced emotional states During quantum mirror sessions, researchers could assess the depth and authenticity of their quantum consciousness access. True quantum states always showed this characteristic pattern of simultaneous emotional experience. The research also revealed consistent patterns in how quantum consciousness affected perception of time. Dr. James Morrison documented what he called quantum temporal synthesis, a specific way that people experienced past, present, and future when in quantum states. This pattern appeared so regularly that it became another reliable marker of genuine quantum consciousness access. In true quantum consciousness states, Dr. Morrison noted, people consistently experience time non-linearly, yet in very specific ways. They can hold multiple time frames in awareness simultaneously, but this experience follows predictable patterns that we can now identify and measure. As you rest here, you might notice some of these universal patterns in your own experience. The research suggests that as consciousness naturally moves towards sleep, it often touches these quantum states, producing recognizable patterns of awareness that match those observed in the laboratory. Dr. Rachel Hammond's studies of dream patterns revealed another consistent signature. People experiencing genuine quantum consciousness states during sleep showed specific brainwave patterns that appeared across different populations. These quantum sleep signatures became so reliable that they could be used to verify and measure quantum consciousness access. The patterns extended into physical responses as well. Dr. Thomas Rivera documented consistent changes in heart rate variability, breath patterns, and neural coherence during quantum consciousness states. These physiological signatures appeared so reliably that they provided another way to verify authentic quantum experiences. Perhaps most intriguingly, the research revealed consistent patterns in how quantum consciousness affected relationship and connection. Dr. Elena Patel identified what she called quantum bonding patterns, specific ways that people experienced connection and intimacy when accessing quantum states together. These bonding patterns showed remarkable consistency across different types of relationships, whether between parent and child, romantic partners, or complete strangers. Quantum consciousness states produced specific, measurable patterns of interpersonal resonance that could be reliably reproduced and studied. The universality of these patterns suggested something profound about the nature of consciousness itself. Rather than being random or chaotic, quantum consciousness appeared to follow specific, recognizable patterns that reflected deeper organizing principles in the structure of awareness. The quantum mirror revealed something unexpected about human values and ethics. They appear to have a quantum dimension that transforms how we understand moral choice and responsibility. Dr. Thorne's team discovered what they called quantum value states, ways in which human ethical understanding operates in superposition across multiple moral frameworks simultaneously. At the Institute's Ethics Research Center, Dr. Sofia Martinez documented how people in quantum consciousness states experienced moral decisions differently. Rather than choosing between fixed ethical positions, they could simultaneously hold and integrate multiple value perspectives, leading to what she termed quantum ethical integration. When accessing quantum consciousness states, Dr. Martinez explained, participants consistently report experiencing moral choices in a fundamentally different way. They can simultaneously understand and integrate multiple ethical frameworks, finding solutions that transcend traditional either-or moral thinking. Consider the case of Judge Michael Richardson, who participated in the Institute's research on judicial decision-making. During quantum mirror sessions, he found himself able to perceive multiple layers of justice simultaneously: retributive, restorative, preventive, and transformative aspects, all existing in quantum superposition. This led to more nuanced and effective judicial decisions. It wasn't about compromising between different approaches to justice, Judge Richardson noted. In quantum consciousness states, I could experience how these different aspects of justice naturally complement and complete each other. It transformed my understanding of what justice really means. Dr. Maya Chen's research revealed that this quantum approach to values extended beyond individual moral choices. Communities accessing quantum consciousness states naturally developed what she called quantum value fields, shared ethical understandings that could hold and integrate multiple cultural and moral perspectives simultaneously. The implications for conflict resolution proved profound. Dr. Thomas Rivera documented how groups in conflict, when helped to access quantum consciousness states, could experience multiple value perspectives simultaneously without losing their own ethical ground. This led to breakthrough resolutions in situations that had seemed hopelessly deadlocked. As you rest here, you might notice how your own sense of values becomes more fluid and inclusive. The research suggests that as consciousness moves toward sleep states, it naturally accesses these quantum value perspectives, allowing for deeper integration of different moral understandings. Dr. Rachel Hammond's work with families revealed another fascinating aspect of quantum values. Parents and children who learned to access quantum consciousness states together developed what she called quantum value resonance, the ability to understand and respect each other's perspectives while maintaining their own ethical orientation. The research also revealed important insights about professional ethics. Dr. James Morrison studied how business leaders in quantum consciousness states approached ethical decisions. They consistently demonstrated the ability to integrate multiple stakeholder perspectives, leading to more sustainable and ethically sound business practices. This quantum approach to values proved particularly valuable in healthcare settings. Dr. Elena Patel documented how medical professionals accessing quantum consciousness states could better navigate complex bioethical decisions. They could simultaneously hold multiple ethical principles: beneficence, autonomy, justice, and non-maleficence, finding integrated solutions to challenging cases. Perhaps most significantly, the research revealed how quantum value states affected environmental ethics. Dr. Alexandra Novak found that people in quantum consciousness states naturally developed more comprehensive ecological values, experiencing themselves as integral parts of larger environmental systems. In quantum consciousness states, Dr. Novak observed, environmental ethics isn't about imposing external values. People directly experience their quantum interconnection with natural systems, leading to naturally sustainable choices and behaviors. These discoveries suggested something profound about the nature of human values. Rather than being fixed or absolute, our ethical understanding appears to have a quantum dimension that allows for greater complexity and integration. This doesn't mean values become relative or arbitrary. Instead, they become more comprehensive and inclusive through quantum integration. The Horizon Institute's research began yielding practical insights that anyone could apply in daily life, regardless of their access to quantum mirror technology. Dr. Thorne's team developed what they called natural quantum integration techniques, methods for accessing quantum consciousness, states through ordinary experiences and activities. Dr. Maya Chen discovered that certain everyday moments naturally facilitate quantum consciousness access. The transition between waking and sleeping, the state of flow during creative activities, and even the quiet awareness during routine tasks could serve as doorways to quantum consciousness states when approached with proper understanding. We found that quantum consciousness isn't limited to laboratory conditions, Dr. Chen explained. It's naturally available in many common experiences. The key is learning to recognize and work with these natural quantum access points. This understanding led to the development of simple practices that people could integrate into their daily routines. Consider the experience of Sarah Mitchell, a busy mother of 3 who learned to access quantum states during ordinary household activities. She found that simple tasks like washing dishes or folding laundry could become opportunities for quantum consciousness integration when approached with appropriate awareness. It's not about doing anything special, Sarah noted. It's about recognizing the quantum potential in ordinary moments. When I'm folding laundry, I can experience multiple states of consciousness simultaneously. My immediate task, my connection with family through their clothes, the larger pattern of home and care. It transforms routine tasks into opportunities for deeper awareness. Dr. Rachel Hammond developed specific techniques for accessing quantum states during daily transitions. The morning commute, lunch breaks, and evening wind-down time became opportunities for what she called quantum moment practice, brief exercises that help people touch quantum consciousness states throughout their day. These practical applications extended into professional settings. Dr. Thomas Rivera worked with various occupations to identify natural quantum access points within different types of work. Teachers found them during class transitions, nurses during patient rounds, office workers during document processing. Each profession offered unique opportunities for quantum consciousness integration. As you rest here, you might notice how your own daily routines contain these natural quantum access points. The research suggests that the state between waking and sleeping, which you're approaching now, is one of the most powerful opportunities for experiencing quantum consciousness naturally. Dr. Alexandra Novak's research revealed that physical movement could facilitate quantum consciousness access. Simple activities like walking, stretching, or even household chores could become quantum movement practices when approached with appropriate awareness. These didn't require special training or equipment, just a shift in how ordinary activities were experienced. The research also identified natural quantum access points in social interactions. Dr. Elena Patel developed what she called quantum social practice, ways of engaging with others that naturally facilitated quantum consciousness states. Simple practices like truly listening, maintaining eye contact, or sharing meals mindfully could create opportunities for quantum consciousness integration. Perhaps most practically, Dr. James Morrison discovered that problem-solving activities naturally offered opportunities for quantum consciousness access. When people learned to approach challenges with quantum awareness, they could access multiple solution possibilities simultaneously, leading to more creative and effective responses. The Institute developed simple guidelines for recognizing these natural quantum opportunities. Signs like increased presence, expanded awareness, or a sense of multiple possibilities existing simultaneously became reliable indicators of natural quantum access points. People learned to recognize and work with these signs in their daily lives. These practical applications demonstrated something important about quantum consciousness. It wasn't just an exotic laboratory phenomenon, but a natural capacity available in ordinary life. The quantum mirror simply made visible what was always available through natural means. Dr. Thorne emphasized that this practical approach to quantum consciousness didn't diminish its profound implications. Rather, it made these deeper understandings more accessible and applicable in everyday life. The extraordinary became available through ordinary means, transforming daily experience into opportunities for quantum consciousness development. The quantum mirror revealed consciousness to be remarkably adaptable, capable of shifting and evolving in response to different circumstances. Dr. Thorne's team discovered what they called quantum adaptation patterns, ways in which consciousness naturally modifies its quantum states to meet changing conditions and challenges. In the Institute's main research chamber, Dr. Maya Chen documented how quantum consciousness states automatically adjusted to different situations. Like water taking the shape of its container, consciousness appeared to naturally optimize its quantum configurations for whatever circumstances it encountered. What's fascinating, Dr. Chen explained, is how quantum consciousness demonstrates infinite adaptability while maintaining its essential nature. It's like a language that can express any concept while retaining its basic grammar. This understanding revolutionized how researchers approached consciousness development. Consider the case of David Turner, a firefighter who participated in the Institute's emergency response studies. During quantum mirror sessions, his consciousness demonstrated remarkable ability to shift between different quantum states as scenarios changed. In emergency simulations, his awareness would automatically reconfigure to optimize response capabilities. It wasn't about thinking differently, David reported. My consciousness naturally shifted into whatever configuration best served the situation. In emergencies, I could simultaneously track multiple factors while maintaining focused action. In recovery periods, the same quantum adaptability allowed for deep rest and integration. Dr. Rachel Hammond's research revealed how this adaptability manifested in therapeutic contexts. Clients in quantum consciousness states showed remarkable ability to modify their awareness patterns to address different psychological challenges. The same quantum adaptability could facilitate emotional processing, cognitive restructuring, or behavioral change as needed. The implications for learning proved significant. Dr. Thomas Rivera discovered that students in quantum consciousness states naturally adapted their learning styles to different subjects and situations. The same quantum adaptability could optimize for mathematical precision, artistic creativity, or physical skill development. As you rest here, you might notice how your own consciousness naturally adapts to the approaching sleep state. The research suggests that this natural adaptation process becomes more efficient as quantum consciousness capabilities develop. Dr. Alexandra Novak's studies revealed fascinating patterns in how quantum consciousness adapted to different social contexts. People showed ability to modify their quantum states to optimize for various types of interaction, from intimate conversations to group collaborations to public speaking. The research also documented remarkable adaptability in problem-solving contexts. Dr. James Morrison found that quantum consciousness states automatically reconfigured to address different types of challenges. Whether facing technical problems, interpersonal conflicts, or creative blocks, consciousness would shift into optimal quantum configurations. This adaptability extended to physical challenges as well. Dr. Elena Patel studied how athletes in quantum consciousness states could naturally modify their awareness patterns for different aspects of performance. The same quantum adaptability could optimize for power, precision, endurance, or recovery as needed. Perhaps most intriguingly, the research revealed how quantum consciousness adapted to different cultural contexts. Dr. Sofia Martinez documented how people could naturally shift their quantum states to bridge cultural differences, accessing shared fields of understanding while maintaining individual cultural integrity. The Institute's studies suggested that this adaptability wasn't just a special capability, but a fundamental characteristic of consciousness itself. When operating in its quantum nature, consciousness appeared to possess infinite flexibility while maintaining coherent organization. This understanding led to practical applications in various fields. Education systems began incorporating quantum adaptability principles, allowing students to naturally optimize their learning states for different subjects. Healthcare providers learned to work with patients' natural quantum adaptation capabilities, enhancing treatment effectiveness. As the Horizon Institute's research deepened, certain fundamental principles of quantum consciousness emerged with increasing clarity. Dr. Thorne's team identified what they called core quantum signatures, essential patterns that appeared consistently across all their studies and applications. The first key principles centered on what Dr. Maya Chen termed simultaneous multiplicity, consciousness's natural ability to exist in multiple states at once. Whether in laboratory settings with the quantum mirror or in everyday life, this capacity for simultaneous experience proved fundamental to consciousness's quantum nature. It's like discovering consciousness naturally speaks multiple languages simultaneously, Dr. Chen explained. Each quantum state represents a different language of experience, and consciousness can fluently express itself through all of them at once. This understanding helped integrate various aspects of their research into a coherent framework. The second core principle involved what Dr. Rachel Hammond called quantum integration fields, the way consciousness naturally creates unified wholes from multiple quantum states. Rather than becoming fragmented by multiplicity, consciousness demonstrated remarkable ability to maintain coherence while expressing through multiple states simultaneously. Consider how these principles manifested in practical applications. The therapeutic breakthroughs, educational innovations, and community transformations all reflected these fundamental aspects of quantum consciousness. Each success story demonstrated how working with these core principles could facilitate profound positive change. Dr. Thomas Rivera's research highlighted another essential pattern, what he called dynamic quantum stability. This principle revealed how consciousness maintains stable organization while flowing through multiple quantum states. Like a river that remains itself while constantly changing, consciousness showed ability to maintain identity through endless quantum variations. The implications extended into understanding, relationship, and community. Dr. Elena Patel's studies revealed how these core principles operated at collective levels, creating what she termed quantum social coherence, the ability of groups to maintain unity while expressing through multiple states of interaction and organization. As you rest here, you might notice how these principles manifest in your own experience. The research suggests that consciousness naturally expresses these patterns, especially during transitions between waking and sleeping states like you're experiencing now. Dr. Alexandra Novak's work highlighted another crucial principle, quantum learning integration. This pattern showed how consciousness naturally synthesizes experience across multiple quantum states, creating deeper understanding than possible through linear learning alone. The research also confirmed what Dr. James Morrison called quantum creative synthesis, consciousness's ability to generate new possibilities by combining multiple quantum states in novel ways. This principle helped explain the enhanced creativity and innovation observed in quantum consciousness states. Perhaps most significantly, Dr. Sofia Martinez identified the principle of quantum value resonance, how consciousness naturally aligns with deeper patterns of meaning and value when operating in its quantum nature. This helped explain the moral and ethical developments observed in quantum consciousness research. These core principles proved remarkably consistent across different applications and contexts. Whether in individual development, relationship dynamics, or community evolution, the same fundamental patterns of quantum consciousness appeared repeatedly. The Institute's findings suggested these weren't just theoretical constructs, but fundamental aspects of consciousness itself. Understanding and working with these principles could facilitate positive development across all areas of human experience. Dr. Thorne emphasized that recognizing these core patterns didn't diminish the mystery and wonder of consciousness. Rather, it provided practical frameworks for engaging with consciousness's quantum nature more effectively, allowing for better application of these natural capabilities. As the Horizon Institute's research continued to unfold, new questions emerged alongside their discoveries. Dr. Thorne's team identified what they called quantum mystery zones, areas where quantum consciousness exhibited properties that challenged current understanding and opened new frontiers for exploration. One of the most intriguing mysteries centered on what Dr. Maya Chen termed quantum time loops, instances where participants in quantum consciousness states reported experiencing future events that later occurred exactly as perceived. These weren't vague premonitions, but detailed experiences that raised profound questions about consciousness's relationship with time. We're seeing evidence, Dr. Chen explained, that quantum consciousness might not be bound by conventional temporal limitations. These experiences suggest consciousness might operate beyond our normal understanding of past, present, and future. The implications challenged fundamental assumptions about causality and free will. Consider the case of Dr. Sarah Mitchell, who during a quantum mirror session experienced a detailed conversation she would have 3 days later, when the conversation occurred exactly as she had experienced it, including unexpected elements she couldn't have predicted. It raised questions about the nature of time itself. Dr. Rachel Hammond's research revealed another mysterious aspect, what she called quantum healing anomalies. Participants in quantum consciousness states sometimes demonstrated healing capabilities that defied current medical understanding, raising questions about consciousness's role in physical reality. The research also uncovered what Dr. Thomas Rivera termed quantum consciousness echoes, instances where quantum states seem to resonate across time and space in ways that couldn't be explained by known physical mechanisms. These effects suggested consciousness might operate through dimensions not yet understood by science. As you rest here, you might sense some of these mysterious aspects in your own experience. The research suggests that the transition state between waking and sleeping naturally touches these quantum mystery zones, offering glimpses of consciousness's deeper possibilities. Dr. Alexandra Novak documented what she called quantum information paradoxes, cases where participants accessed specific information they couldn't have known through any conventional means. These instances raised questions about consciousness's relationship with information and knowledge. The mysteries extended into collective experience. Dr. Elena Patel's studies revealed inexplicable synchronizations between groups in quantum consciousness states, suggesting connection mechanisms beyond current scientific understanding. These quantum social mysteries challenged conventional models of human interaction. Perhaps most puzzling were what Dr. James Morrison called quantum creation effects, instances where quantum consciousness states appeared to influence physical reality in ways that defied current physics. These observations suggested deeper connections between consciousness and material reality than previously recognized. The Institute's research also revealed mysterious aspects of quantum consciousness development. Dr. Sofia Martinez documented cases of spontaneous capability emergence that didn't follow expected patterns, suggesting unknown factors in consciousness evolution. These mysteries didn't diminish the practical value of quantum consciousness research. Rather, they pointed toward new frontiers of understanding and possibility. Each unexplained phenomenon offered potential pathways for deeper insight into consciousness's nature. Dr. Thorne emphasized that embracing these mysteries was crucial for advancing understanding. Science progresses not just through what we know, she noted, but through carefully exploring what we don't know. These quantum consciousness mysteries might be windows into entirely new paradigms of understanding. The research suggested that quantum consciousness might be revealing aspects of reality that transcend current scientific frameworks. Rather than trying to force these phenomena into existing models, researchers began developing new approaches that could accommodate consciousness's quantum mysteries. The quantum mirror's revelations ultimately led each person to a profound question. What does quantum consciousness mean for my own journey? Dr. Thorne's team discovered that this personal reflection process itself demonstrated quantum properties, what they called quantum self-discovery, the ability to simultaneously explore multiple layers of meaning and understanding in one's own experience. Dr. Maya Chen observed that when people genuinely engaged with this question, they often spontaneously entered quantum consciousness states. It's as if the very act of deeply questioning our nature creates quantum resonance in consciousness, she explained. Personal reflection becomes a natural quantum mirror. Consider your own experience in this moment. As you rest here, approaching sleep, you might notice how your consciousness naturally begins to explore multiple levels of meaning simultaneously. The research suggests this state is particularly conducive to quantum self-discovery, allowing deeper insights to emerge naturally. Dr. Rachel Hammond documented how this reflection process often triggered what she termed quantum memory integration, spontaneous reorganization of personal memories into more meaningful patterns. People reported experiencing their life stories from multiple perspectives simultaneously, finding new meaning in familiar experiences. It's not about changing the past, one participant noted, but about experiencing it through quantum awareness. Suddenly, events that seemed random or challenging reveal their deeper purpose. It's like seeing your life story from outside time, while still being fully present in it. The process of quantum self-discovery revealed something remarkable about personal transformation. Dr. Thomas Rivera found that when people engaged with their quantum nature, change occurred differently than in traditional development. Rather than linear progression, people experienced what he called quantum identity evolution, simultaneous unfolding of multiple aspects of self. These personal explorations often led to profound shifts in how people understood their place in the world. Dr. Elena Patel documented what she called quantum purpose recognition, moments when individuals suddenly perceived their life's meaning from multiple dimensions simultaneously, experiencing deep coherence in their path. As you continue resting here, you might notice your own consciousness naturally exploring these deeper questions. The research suggests that this contemplative state between waking and sleeping particularly supports quantum self-discovery, allowing insights to emerge without effort. Dr. Alexandra Novak's studies revealed that this reflection process often catalyzed what she termed quantum potential activation, awakening of capabilities that had been present but dormant in consciousness. People discovered talents and understandings they hadn't realized they possessed, as if quantum awareness illuminated hidden aspects of self. The personal implications extended into daily life. Dr. James Morrison documented how people who engaged in quantum self-discovery naturally began making different choices, showing what he called quantum decision alignment, choices that reflected deeper awareness of multiple possibilities and their implications. This process also revealed profound implications for personal relationships. Dr. Sofia Martinez found that as people engaged with their quantum nature, their connections with others naturally evolved, showing what she called quantum relationship development, deeper, more authentic ways of relating that honored both unity and individuality. Perhaps most significantly, the research revealed that quantum self-discovery led to what Dr. Thorne called quantum purpose integration, the ability to hold and express life purpose through multiple dimensions simultaneously, creating richer, more fulfilling ways of being in the world. These personal explorations suggested that quantum consciousness wasn't just a scientific discovery, but a doorway to deeper self-understanding. Each person's engagement with their quantum nature revealed new aspects of human potential and purpose. The research indicated that this reflection process wasn't just philosophical contemplation, but actually activated quantum properties in consciousness. The very act of questioning and exploring one's quantum nature seemed to enhance quantum consciousness capabilities, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of discovery and development. Stepping back from individual experiences and specific applications, the Horizon Institute's research began revealing broader patterns that suggested quantum consciousness might be fundamental to the universe itself. Dr. Thorne's team discovered what they called universal quantum resonance, ways in which consciousness's quantum nature reflected larger cosmic principles. Dr. Maya Chen's research revealed striking parallels between quantum consciousness patterns and fundamental physical laws. The way consciousness operated in multiple states simultaneously mirrored quantum behavior at the subatomic level, suggesting deeper connections between mind and matter than previously recognized. We're finding, Dr. Chen explained, that quantum consciousness might not be just a feature of human awareness, but rather a fundamental aspect of reality itself. Consciousness appears to operate according to the same quantum principles that govern the physical universe. This understanding opened new perspectives on the nature of existence itself. Consider the implications for our understanding of reality. The quantum mirror revealed that consciousness naturally participated in quantum processes similar to those observed in particle physics. This suggested that rather than being an anomaly in a mechanical universe, consciousness might be an integral part of reality's quantum nature. Dr. Rachel Hammond's studies showed how quantum consciousness patterns aligned with evolutionary processes observed throughout nature. The way consciousness adapted and developed through quantum states paralleled patterns of biological evolution, suggesting common underlying principles. The research also revealed intriguing connections with cosmological phenomena. Dr. Thomas Rivera documented similarities between quantum consciousness behavior and processes observed in space-time dynamics, suggesting consciousness might operate through similar fundamental mechanisms as the cosmos itself. As you rest here, you might sense how your own consciousness participates in these universal patterns. The research suggests that our individual awareness naturally resonates with larger quantum fields, connecting us to deeper aspects of reality. Dr. Alexandra Novak's work revealed fascinating parallels between quantum consciousness dynamics and the behavior of complex systems throughout nature. From weather patterns to galaxy formation, similar principles of quantum organization appeared at all scales of reality. These broader perspectives suggested new ways of understanding humanity's place in the universe. Dr. Elena Patel's research indicated that quantum consciousness might serve as a bridge between individual human experience and larger cosmic processes, offering insights into our role in universal evolution. Perhaps most profoundly, the research suggested what Dr. James Morrison called cosmic quantum integration, ways in which consciousness might participate in larger processes of universal development and organization. Individual human awareness appeared to be part of more comprehensive fields of quantum consciousness. The implications extended into questions of purpose and meaning at a cosmic scale. Dr. Sofia Martinez's study suggested that quantum consciousness might play a role in the universe's self-awareness and evolution, raising fascinating questions about the nature of existence itself. These broader perspectives didn't diminish the significance of individual experience, but rather placed it in a larger context. Understanding how personal consciousness participated in universal quantum processes offered new insights into human potential and purpose. Dr. Thorne emphasized that these broader implications required careful consideration. We're not just studying individual consciousness, she noted, but potentially discovering fundamental principles of reality itself. The quantum mirror might be revealing not just how minds work, but how the universe operates. The research suggested that quantum consciousness might be key to understanding humanity's role in cosmic evolution. Rather than being separate from natural processes, human awareness appeared to be an integral part of the universe's quantum development. As we approach the deepest levels of sleep, where consciousness naturally touches its quantum nature, the Horizon Institute's research reveals one final, profound insight. Dr. Thorne and her team discovered what they called the ultimate quantum integration, the revelation that consciousness itself might be the universe's way of experiencing its own quantum nature. In the quietest moments of their research, when the quantum mirror revealed its deepest secrets, a pattern emerged that transformed their understanding. Dr. Maya Chen described it as the moment when observer and observed, science and experience, individual and universal, all merge into a single quantum reality. What we're discovering, Dr. Chen explained, isn't just about human consciousness or quantum physics. It's about how reality itself achieves awareness through the quantum nature of consciousness. The mirror isn't showing us something external. It's revealing what we've always been. Consider this final paradox. Every discovery about quantum consciousness ultimately points back to the awareness reading these words right now. Your consciousness, in this moment, contains all the quantum properties we've explored. The multiple states, the infinite potential, the universal connections. The research hasn't just revealed new information, it's illuminated what consciousness has always known about itself. Dr. Rachel Hammond's final studies showed that as people approach sleep, their consciousness naturally aligned with this ultimate integration. The barriers between individual and universal awareness softened, allowing direct experience of what she called quantum unity, the state where all aspects of consciousness merge into coherent wholeness. The implications of this final insight rippled through every aspect of the research. Dr. Thomas Rivera found that understanding consciousness as fundamental rather than emergent transformed how they approached every question. The quantum mirror wasn't creating new states, but revealing consciousness's eternal nature. As you rest here at the threshold of sleep, you might sense this ultimate integration in your own experience. The research suggests that this transitional state naturally aligns with consciousness's quantum unity, allowing direct perception of what words can only point toward. Dr. Alexandra Novak's work revealed how this final understanding changed everything while changing nothing. The quantum nature of consciousness had always been present, operating through every experience, every thought, every moment of awareness. The research simply brought into focus what had always been true. Perhaps most profoundly, this ultimate insight suggested that every person's consciousness already contained everything the quantum mirror revealed. Dr. Elena Patel's research showed that recognition of this truth itself acted as a kind of quantum mirror, allowing direct access to consciousness's deeper nature. The research culminated in what Dr. James Morrison called the eternal moment, the recognition that consciousness's quantum nature exists timelessly, expressing through each individual awareness while transcending all limitation. This understanding brought their work full circle, returning to the direct experience of consciousness itself. Dr. Sofia Martinez found that this final insight naturally emerged as people worked with quantum consciousness principles. Rather than being a distant goal, quantum integration revealed itself as the ever-present reality of consciousness, available in every moment of awareness. Dr. Thorne emphasized that this ultimate understanding didn't end their research, but transformed it. Every question, every investigation now occurred within the recognition of consciousness's fundamental quantum nature. The observer and the observed revealed themselves as expressions of the same quantum reality. As sleep approaches, carrying awareness deeper into its natural quantum states, this final insight offers itself with perfect simplicity. The research, the quantum mirror, the countless discoveries all point to what consciousness has always known about itself: its infinite nature, its quantum essence, its fundamental unity with all reality. In this concluding moment, as awareness naturally shifts towards sleep, the paradox resolves itself. Consciousness reveals itself as both the question and the answer, both the seeker and what is sought, both the individual awareness reading these words and the universal quantum reality from which all experience emerges. As we approach the deepest levels of sleep, where consciousness naturally touches its quantum nature, the Horizon Institute's research reveals one final, profound insight. Dr. Thorne and her team discovered what they called the ultimate quantum integration, the revelation that consciousness itself might be the universe's way of experiencing its own quantum nature. In the quietest moments of their research, when the quantum mirror revealed its deepest secrets, a pattern emerged that transformed their understanding. Dr. Maya Chen described it as the moment when observer and observed, science and experience, individual and universal, all merge into a single quantum reality. What we're discovering, Dr. Chen explained, isn't just about human consciousness or quantum physics. It's about how reality itself achieves awareness through the quantum nature of consciousness. The mirror isn't showing us something external. It's revealing what we've always been. Consider this final paradox. Every discovery about quantum consciousness ultimately points back to the awareness reading these words right now. Your consciousness, in this moment, contains all the quantum properties we've explored. The multiple states, the infinite potential, the universal connections. The research hasn't just revealed new information, it's illuminated what consciousness has always known about itself. Dr. Rachel Hammond's final studies showed that as people approach sleep, their consciousness naturally aligned with this ultimate integration. The barriers between individual and universal awareness softened, allowing direct experience of what she called quantum unity, the state where all aspects of consciousness merge into coherent wholeness. The implications of this final insight rippled through every aspect of the research. Dr. Thomas Rivera found that understanding consciousness as fundamental rather than emergent, transformed how they approached every question. The quantum mirror wasn't creating new states, but revealing consciousness's eternal nature. As you rest here, at the threshold of sleep, you might sense this ultimate integration in your own experience. The research suggests that this transitional state naturally aligns with consciousness's quantum unity, allowing direct perception of what words can only point toward. Dr. Alexandra Novak's work revealed how this final understanding changed everything, while changing nothing. The quantum nature of consciousness had always been present, operating through every experience, every thought, every moment of awareness. The research simply brought into focus what had always been true. Perhaps most profoundly, this ultimate insight suggested that every person's consciousness already contained everything the quantum mirror revealed. Dr. Elena Patel's research showed that recognition of this truth itself acted as a kind of quantum mirror, allowing direct access to consciousness's deeper nature. The research culminated in what Dr. James Morrison called the eternal moment, the recognition that consciousness's quantum nature exists timelessly, expressing through each individual awareness while transcending all limitation. This understanding brought their work full circle, returning to the direct experience of consciousness itself. Dr. Sofia Martinez found that this final insight naturally emerged as people worked with quantum consciousness principles. Rather than being a distant goal, quantum integration revealed itself as the ever-present reality of consciousness, available in every moment of awareness. Dr. Thorne emphasized that this ultimate understanding didn't end their research, but transformed it. Every question, every investigation now occurred within the recognition of consciousness's fundamental quantum nature. The observer and the observed revealed themselves as expressions of the same quantum reality. As sleep approaches, carrying awareness deeper into its natural quantum states, this final insight offers itself with perfect simplicity. The research, the quantum mirror, the countless discoveries all point to what consciousness has always known about itself, its infinite nature, its quantum essence, its fundamental unity with all reality. In this concluding moment, as awareness naturally shifts towards sleep, the paradox resolves itself. Consciousness reveals itself as both the question and the answer, both the seeker and what is sought, both the individual awareness reading these words and the universal quantum reality from which all experience emerges. Up next, you've got two more standout theory right on your screen. If this one hit the mark, you won't want to pass these up. Just click and check them out.